You know who it was? You know.
I'm
Well,
sorry,
I was
Michael. I
gonna
don't want to
say-
start another conspiracy theory.
Michael Osberg was at Darren Schneider's door.
He down the door.
He kicked it down.
So, did he only see the front three girls and not Rayleigh behind? And also, I don't know, maybe that's my only one point.
Well, I don't think that Rick said that he was wearing that. I think it
Just became a mukbang stream.
That probable indicated that evidence contained in the handwriting pointed rather strongly toward the question and known writings as having been written by the same individual. However, but why am I laughing at Where's Nancy? I'm so sorry. I just like, oh, it's terrible.
click, click, boom. And that was photographs of Odinist guards wearing their Odinist patches as they paraded Richard Allen to his attorney visit with a camcorder recording.
Honest truth moment.
Yeah.
I might have taken all of my gummies before the final episode of Summer House.
Okay. Is it hitting? Riding? Yeah, you going for a ride?
Yep.
Nice. Probably what's going to happen. You know?
I hope not.
Yeah, I do too.
Be the light you want to see in the world. Judge Sharp. Honorable.
That's right. Yeah.
I love what he's arrested for, given the fucking grand scheme of fucking Carroll County.
Chat, clip that, please. Who is this? Is this Brad or Andy?
It's Andy.
Of course.
He's like, keep going as we practice.
Keep going. I'm pouring myself some coffee. All right. We conducted some other interviews. We had spoken with Joyce Moffat, who is Elvis Field's sister. During that interview, she confirmed. Are you fucking with me?
No, I'm sorry. I'm trying
And
I'm trying to make it better. I'm sorry. Hold on.
It's like it's like either hella scrolling or like in and out.
Don't say hella. People call us crazy sometimes for thinking that the Delphi shit is an issue and that they wanted a patsy because that Carroll County has some shit to cover up, God knows what. But, you know, they may have self-serving fucking reasons to accuse someone innocent of a crime of doing something they didn't do, right? But we're kind of crazy for thinking that. We're conspiracy theorists. It's nuts. But over in Flora, one town over, the landlord is your boss of the fire chief investigating the murder that you never solved, just like all maybe 20 other fucking arson murders you've never solved. But we're crazy. I have a celebrity in here, guys. Hi. Every time a celebrity comes in, I go, hi. Oops, it's one of ours again. Well, guess we have to pretend we don't know what we're doing and that we can't solve it again.
Sarah Jar Jar Baugh. fucking tell me what you want me to say. And
fucking drunk driving DUI.
You want tan, you want blue, you want muddy, you want bloody, you let me know.
Now you can say it has nothing to do with Delphi, whatever. Okay.
Oh no, we have it on good authority that he was killed by an Odinist guard. I have a very credible source telling me that he was.
We do not actually co-sign anything Erica Moore says because that lady is fucking nuts.
Our investigation was hindered at various points as well. We did ask state police for an interview to talk about the investigation. They declined our invitation to speak on camera and said instead that the investigation is active. We asked them for dash camera video showing the response to the fire that we absolutely know exists and has been released elsewhere. State police denied that request as well, citing the open investigation. We also reached out to Carroll County's current sheriff, who also declined our invitation to interview.
Is Kathy Clandering, how do you pronounce it?
Kathy Clandenning?
Clandenning, if you're watching. I don't have cleavage today, but if I step back, you can kind of see it anyway. You're welcome. Anyway.
I believe that somebody knows who's in the house.
Bullshit! How many times have we heard that before? Fucking Doug Carter, there goes. I believe you have nothing. You have nothing. You know nothing. Once again, you're just fucking trying to act all, oh yeah, you do nothing. Carroll County does nothing. I don't know what the fuck they're doing all day, but they're not saving lives, they're not solving crimes, they're not stopping fires. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. And you're starting to look exactly like Kevin. Fuck you.
Does this signature trigger you? Okay.
In this case, that are watching it from Zimbabwe, Scotland, South Africa, Australia.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. So that was a long one. I'm working on a new intro that I made at like 2 a.m. I'm not even kidding. I was like, I need to fucking change it. I need to do something. I was like ADHD freaking out. So made that at 2 a.m. And that's just temporary for now. But hi guys.
It was good. I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, it was good enough. I wanted to throw in some fun clips in there. Show we're a good time, you know. Also throw a little shade. Anywho, hi guys. As you know, we are here tonight to get into our intro episode of Digging Back into Delphi. But more importantly, tonight's purpose is to hopefully further bring together the Free Karen Reid crowd and the Cranks and put all of our amazing fucking energy and power together and do some good in this world. Be the light in the world that you want to see. Be the light. But most importantly tonight is the reason we are doing this is because I met and spoke with one of my new favorite people in the world. Someone who's been a staunch FKR supporter, Free Turtle Boy supporter. He's also fucking hilarious. He's also been stomping the ground for Rick lately and talking about Delphi and talking about these assholes. So without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend, Ray from Dallas, everybody.
Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? Hi, Bug. Hi, Keith.
Hi. And if, by the way, I forgot to tell you this. I know you're like on cam sometimes, but if you are like, fuck it, I don't want to, feel free. Go off cam. I don't mind it.
Can y'all see me good?
Yeah, you look great. Yeah. You look good.
Thank you. Y'all look well as well. You know, you're stunningly beautiful.
You are so nice to me. Stop it.
How do you know he's talking about you? Just kidding.
No, because to you, you would be like handsome, right? Right.
No.
Anyway, so Ray, I'm fucking thrilled you're here. You keep saying that you're thankful that we would have you on here, but I mean, I've got like 500 and something subs, and you're making a name for yourself out there, especially within FKR. So I just want to thank you again for joining us because this is so important to you now, so important to us. It's so important to everybody in this chat. Hello, everyone. So thank you again.
No, thank you guys, and thank Classic for
huge shout out to Classic.
Being an angel on my shoulder to lead me the way. I appreciate
it. For fucking sure. Classic, shout out. We love you so much. Every day, just if you are on Twitter, hopefully you are, and if you don't follow Classic on there, please do. If you want to throw your link, she constantly has free Rick Allen information and updates, and touches back on prior shit, and just like her Twitter account is like, if you're not going to go to All Eyes GitHub, go to Classic's Twitter and just scroll down her thread. It's really good. Hi, everyone in chat. Thank you guys so much for being here. I see Skinny. I see Free Ricky Bay, Belly. Dude, Emily, I miss you so much. It's so nice to see you here.
Yeah, what up, Em?
Hippie, I love you. Candy, Mary Beth. if I miss you, just know I love you so much. Nicole, Sharon, thank you guys so much for being here and supporting. And yeah, so basically why we're doing this, I touched on it a little bit in the beginning, but for me, when I got into true crime, the first case I ever cared about was like Jean Benet, but I was a little girl, right? So when I got older and I could really put in some real passion and research into this shit, the first case that really got me was West Memphis 3, which is a very famous, well-known wrongful conviction case. And I'm actually going to be doing a stream on West Memphis coming up. But that was such a strong passion of mine. I remember where I was when they were technically freed, kind of. So I was much younger and I was in a hair salon and I was getting my hair done and I screamed. I literally screamed. I was so fucking happy and everyone around me was like, why are you so happy? Oh, people got released from prison. It's fine. It's fine. But with that, I typically tend to also love wrongful conviction cases in general. I think that's why when I happened upon Rick's trial coming up, I noticed he was fucking innocent like 5 minutes into research. That's why it became so important to me. So with that being said, when Karen Reed, I didn't pay attention to the first trial. I really didn't even know it was happening, to be quite honest. And then I was active in Defense Diaries chat, shout out, and really got into the Karen Reed, the second trial from them, right? So that one was another one that had me by the balls. It wasn't a wrongful conviction, but we were watching in real time a completely fucking innocent woman without question, like being totally railroaded in unbelievable ways in front of everyone's eyes. So that also became a passion of mine. And, I still track the FKR, what's going on with Free Turtle Boy and all that. I'm friends with so many of you guys. You guys have been amazing. But as we know, Ray from Dallas, a big contributor to FKR. And I just want to chat a little bit about you. So my question, Ray, is like, what got you into true crime? When? What happened?
I always been a fan, right? Because when you see stories, it mesmerizes you, and you want to be like, how did that happen? Like from Scott Peterson, Nicole and OJ, cases like that, and the storytelling.
Absolutely. Yeah, same here. Like how it happened and why. Like what's wrong with these fucking people when they're actually guilty,
And also, I don't like corruption, and I'm not for injustice. So it's just I'm passionate about that. Because everybody got to know we are real human beings out here, and we have human beings out here like hashtag Free Ricky, who is going through the worst of the worst. Like when I came in here, like this has changed me, right? I've never ever seen a case like this before in my life. When I tell you I'm so caught into this now, I wake up, eat, sleep, breathe, and shit Richard Allen case because I'm trying to get it. And how you first come in, you're seeing everybody say stuff. But then as you keep going, it all makes sense. And you be mind boggled like I am. Like I'm angry as hell, right? But I'm not gonna let that angry get the best of me. It's motivating me to do my part. That's why I tell everybody, give 1%, right? 1% every day. And with all the thousands and millions of us, that's gonna add up. September the 21st is a day that we cannot let go by us without making noise.
Period. So what Ray is talking about is, so those of us in here are very familiar with the Delphi and Rick Allen case. Rick Allen was convicted. He was sentenced to astronomical amount of years in prison, and the appeal process is ongoing. But Rick Allen turned in his appeal. We got a response from the state, and we got a rebuttal, and we got a request, a motion for oral argument request, and that was swiftly granted. So September 21st is oral arguments in front of appeals judges at the Supreme Court in Indianapolis. So if you can be there, by all fucking means, let's all show up. I don't care if I get in the room and actually hear that shit. I just want to be there. I want to be out on the streets, and I want to talk to everyone, and I want to get everyone's opinion, and I want to have real conversations with everyone. I also really want to fuck with media and try to get them to talk to me, right? Because Lord knows how media in Indiana is going to post this shit, right? We watch Wish TV and all those ones during trial, and since, completely give a one-sided take on this, unlike anything I've ever seen, right? So Ray, what got you into Karen Reed specifically?
The GOAT, when he went to jail, it blew up. I mean, from where I'm at in the 214, the Dos Uno Cuarto, the Dos Catorce, to across the world, to across the pond. And when I seen that, and then I seen Karen Reed and seen how she was getting railroaded, I was astonished, right? And one thing about me, I don't play no games about nothing like this, because this is serious. We get one life, right? And I need everybody to know, just keep going. You got to have that little engine that could, like Major Payne. Chicka, 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 and have faith, and just do not stop. Like I tell my two boys, I don't got no I can't. We don't got no I can't or I quit in our vocabulary.
Fucking period. I really need to start that too. There ain't no I can't, there ain't no I quit. This case, specifically Rick Allen and Delphi, is the first time I've ever been so fucking gung-ho. I'm gonna do some shit. I'm not letting this go until we see something happen. Because watching the guilty verdict be announced in real time, that hurt, right? That, I guess I partly expected it, right? Because it was hidden. The trial was completely hidden. It'd been fuckery the whole time. We knew the jury was hearing some bullshit. So, but actually, watching all that go down and knowing 100% would put my fucking life on the line that man is innocent. And watching that happen really fucked with me, but in a good way, because now I'm fucking here with you guys, and it's time to change some shit. And most importantly, too, for me, what I continue to want to do with this channel, with you, Keith, with everyone, with all the cranks, is to get more voices and support out there for Rick. Unfortunately, when you've got someone convicted or even just suspected, charged of killing children, it's really difficult to get a lot of support behind those wrongful convictions. West Memphis 3, it took quite a few documentaries before they got somewhere. Johnny Depp was working with West Memphis 3 for years before they finally got somewhere. So the more we can build community, the more support we can get for Rick and show people that, like, yes, he was convicted of this heinous, awful crime. Yes, it involves children. And yes, it might feel weird to try to want to free someone who is convicted of something so awful. But without a doubt, with this
Not to me.
series, yeah, without a doubt, with this series coming up with Ray and me and Keith, what we're hoping to do is to really get in from before day one. I want to focus on this case in general before Rick Allen was even a suspect or even known. And that way we can really open this story up to newcomers and hopefully get some more support that way. Because I think once people see, like I did, the finer details and the fact that there is no evidence against Rick except mere presence and confessions, there's no there. He's so fucking innocent that you have to be deaf, blind, and dumb to fucking. I'm sorry. Or you just really believe in law enforcement and you can't fucking let that go. I don't know. But anywho, Keith, I've been running my fucking mouth. How are you doing?
I'm good. Sorry I was almost late. I was telling people it's illegal to bully me on the internet, so I was a little bit behind. But here I am. Ray, good to see you, man. Love the shows. I catch replay because I'm probably like maybe 15, 20 minutes into your show and I think I fall asleep or like I'm dozing off and I gotta go to bed. But I get back on replay. And again, I just want to reiterate, like, shout out to Classic Overthinker. I would not have known anything about you unless I think I could say her name, unless Beth had really, shared you with us. And it's great to see your chat. It's great to see kind of, despite how you feel about how someone feels about Turtle Boy, right? That if it wasn't for him, amongst a lot of other people, yourself included, we're not entirely sure that Karen would be free. And we're also not entirely sure that we wouldn't be seeing a lot of the things that are going on. And so I think there's a lot of parallels in Delphi. One of the largest things that I've noticed, other than like the obvious police corruption, right? But like the pedophilia and the racism, two very the whole reason I say that with as it pertains to Delphi is because I firmly believe that there was a group of loosely connected white supremacists behind what happened. And it was to cover up a house fire that happened probably about 12 minutes down the road from where these two girls were found. The Flora fire had happened just months prior. And, you'll learn if you haven't already, or I'm sure you've talked about Kagan Klein and all that was going on in that. So, obviously there's nothing solidly, I will say solidly, while he's been interrogated and to no end, and he's talked and he's lied and he's spewed out a bunch of all different kinds of things. Um, they were heavily investigating him for a very long time, and pretty much a lot of the activity that he was partaking in, talking to underage girls, exchanging pictures, all that terrible illegal stuff. Kind of flew on the radar for a long time with him. I think he was about, Spokes, if I remember, he was about 3 years overdue from an arrest on being behind bars. And who knows as far as what the ties are. But when you look at, what these people, the police are designed uh, to protect the citizens, right? The police are designed formally. I'm not saying that happens all the time, 100% of the time, but the idea behind them is that they're there to protect us. And I think for what you guys have done, what a lot of the cranks and a lot of people have done with what's going on in Delphi, we're starting to really, really see, if you haven't before, that there are some really, really bad actors in law enforcement. There are some really, really bad actors in, and I mean especially bad. I would, we talk about Proctor and all his text messages and all those messages that they're sharing in the group chat and the things that they're saying and doing. I would love to see. I would
Oh.
love to see Jerry Holman's text messages. I would.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
God, can you fucking imagine?
I would love to see the text messages of these bin lenders and all the
Oh,
people that they, maybe brought into their little gang, maybe hired, maybe didn't. We don't know. But when you look at the totality of what's happened in Delphi, you cannot. We're beyond ignorance. We're beyond just a bunch of dumb cops. They're intentionally protecting people. And I think the same thing happened in Karen Reed. I think we have some police that are protecting some people that should not be protected. And in the wake of that, unfortunately, there's always a patsy. There's always, someone that they have to pin it on. So, I appreciate you joining. I think the biggest thing when we're talking about trying to free someone, it almost takes a public movement, right? It almost takes like a full on that like Spooks was talking about with West Memphis. It takes so much awareness. And so I think we're all very grateful that you're here.
Man, listen, I am grateful for the cranks. Like, y'all are the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Now, hold up. I don't know if y'all know how I say truth, right? But that's TRUF. Truth.
truth, man.
Truth,
I'll tell
absolutely.
you, but
And
you
look,
know,
I'm so passionate about this, though, because look,
mhm.
like you say, bro, this is mind-boggling. And like this is worse than the Karen Reed case, and I stand on that. Like, I be up late at night. I be bewildered. Like, I be lost in the sauce. It's like my head be doing jumping jacks. I'm like, hold up. You got him, her, him, all these other characters that the evidence is pointing at. But y'all gonna get our veteran? Man, hey, now hold up. Everybody know how I feel about our veterans. Because I'm Mr. Red, White, and Blue myself, country first, and I think everybody, whoever served our country, or whoever was a part of a family who was with a person who served our country, salute, because the veterans are the epitome of the gold standard, right? Because it takes a special, I mean special individual to do what they do. Now, and they do our veteran like that in Rich Allen. That's where they got me messed up at. I'm not playing about this. Like I tell everybody, my work ethic is crazy. The energy is gonna always stay the same, and I'm gonna always deep dive, dig, ask questions, and stay on top of it. I just appreciate y'all and everybody in the chat, the beautiful people, the beautiful women, the handsome gents. Thank y'all for letting me be a new crank, and I love it.
We fucking love you and love that you're fucking riding with us. So thanks again. So what Keith was just touching on is actually perfect. Just trying to get this movement going itself. I wanted to, speaking on West Memphis 3, go back to a little something from that experience. So bear with me one sec. There we go.
Hearing in Arkansas today could mean freedom for the West Memphis Three, who've been fighting for 18 years to prove they're not the killers of three 8-year-old boys. Erin Moriarty of CBS's 48 Hours Mystery has been following this case very closely. She joins us now to talk more about this morning. Erin, good morning.
This is a very unusual development, Chris. This case has gotten a lot of attention as more evidence comes out that these three convicted men, one who has spent more than half his life on death row, are innocent. In May 1993, three young Arkansas boys, Stevie Branch, Christopher Byers, and Michael Moore, went missing. Their bodies were found the next day, brutally murdered and mutilated in a water-filled ditch in the town of West Memphis.
The little boys were found in a drainage ditch, 8-year-olds, mutilated and beaten to death.
Police
Sickening
arrested 3 local teenagers, Damian Eccles, James Baldwin, and Jesse Miskelly, and charged them with murder. The 3 soon became known as the West Memphis 3.
3 teenagers were taken into custody. They are each charged with 3 counts of capital murder.
Because Eccles wore black and listened to heavy metal music, investigators believe the 3 were part of a cult and that the killing was a satanic ritual.
Sickening killings that might have been part of a satanic ritual.
In 19...
I had to stop it there because it's 90, I forget what year it was, 94 or something, 92, and it's like, 94, it says right there on the fucking screen, Caitlin. It's like 1994, and here it's satanic panic and all this shit. Everyone was so fucking ready to believe that satanic worshipers were out there performing rituals and killing kids. But here we are, 2017 to now. And we can actually have, unfortunately, seen crime scenes involving children with obvious Asatru Odinism symbols and fucking shit going on at the crime scene. And everyone's like, you're crazy. That doesn't happen. But like, here we are back in 1994, and it's like, oh yeah, that was totally satanic panic. Yeah, obviously, it's just fucked.
Yeah, it was also like very Nancy Grace. Like if you listen to metal music, you're a demon, and that means you just love to kill children. Like that always gets me. And by the way, that was in the FBI profiling that Unified Command got on who they should be looking for is someone likely interested in metal music. And I think that's very funny because if you knew the metalheads that I knew, there are some that don't even drink caffeine. That's how square they are, let alone whatever dream anything like that. Anyways, I just thought it was funny. It was very Nancy Grace-esque.
Hella. And you'll hear the tone in the reporters in this one, because this is before they're free, where they still have to like kind of be like cautious too. So that's interesting. Again, this was another case involving children. So
Yep.
94 Eccles was sentenced to death, while Baldwin and Miskelly were slated to spend the rest of their lives in jail for the brutal killing. While Miskelly did confess to the crime early on, his attorneys claimed he has a low IQ. The 3 have maintained their innocence publicly ever since. The case garnered national attention, with actor Johnny Depp pleading their case and hosting benefits to raise money for their defense. And in 2007, new DNA evidence emerged that defense attorneys argue exonerates the 3. Thursday, they were transferred to a county jail in Jonesboro, Arkansas, where they will appear in court later today, while a Craighead County judge issued a...
I gotta be better at picking pause times, but Classic said, false confession, you say. Really? Really? These 2 cases are very fucking similar, actually. And once I start my stream on West Memphis, I think that'll become even more obvious to those that aren't aware of West Memphis 3. But I mean, these 2, Delphi and in this case, are just so strikingly similar, but different. It's wild. Anyway.
A gag order prohibiting anyone from talking about the case publicly. Sources, including one victim's father, say the men will go free. This is a bittersweet development for anyone who's been covering this case for a while, too, Chris.
So what's going to happen? Are they just literally, I mean, they've been convicted of killing these kids. Are they just going to walk out of jail?
Well, I want to point out there is a gag order, and no one has violated it. But what we have heard, what could happen today, is that they could enter something that's very unusual called Alfred pleas. And the 3 men will say, look, we are innocent, but in order to get out of jail, we will plead guilty. And so... And then if everything goes to plan, the 3 will be freed today. And that makes a very big deal for Damian Eccles, who will be 38 years of age in December. He has spent more than half his life on death row.
But they have to plead guilty for murder. So what does this do as far as a life for them out of court? Can they sue? for reparations,
in a way,
anything alone.
And this is a good deal for the state because the state, saves face. There was going to be an evidentiary hearing this December.
Yeah.
There's a very good chance these three men would have gotten a new trial.
Yeah.
And the state just doesn't have the evidence now to convict them. So, and what's really sad is they'll never find out who really did kill these boys.
It's a cold case again.
Yeah.
All right.
Really, and so for those of you that didn't follow us, Memphis 3, the three little boys were murdered and found hogtied and nude in a creek, another fucking creek.
Oh my.
Yeah, in Robin Hills in West Memphis, Arkansas, back in the early 90s. And what essentially happened was they got a confession from one of these three boys. He just so happened to actually, she was saying that Aaron Moriarty was saying they claim he's actually low. No, Jesse Miss Kelly, without a doubt, is of, a lower IQ, without a doubt. So anyway, they got him to confess. But here's the thing. None of his confessions even fucking matched the crime.
Wow.
And they still fucking said it was a confession, and they still fucking said convict him. I mean, it was wild. So, and then, with the other two boys, Damian Eccles was posed as like the ringleader, his best friend Jason. They were gothic and loved heavy metal, and even to this day, there are very few people that still try to say the West Memphis 3 are guilty because their main argument is that Damian Eccles, when he was a teenage boy, went to a mental hospital for psychiatric issues, and that he just didn't have an alibi, right? So because of that, to this day, people will still say those men are guilty. It's just maddening. And very important, too, with what Aaron was talking about with the Alford plea. So the whole world was getting behind freeing the West Memphis 3. Multiple celebrities, like huge, donations and people coming together and talking about it and documentaries and all this shit going on. And it finally got to a point where they were, like she was saying, they were going to have an evidentiary hearing. And some people really thought they were going to get a new trial anyway. So when this happened, it was a little surprising. And what it was Damian Eccles was the only one of the three that was sentenced to the death penalty. The other two boys were sentenced to life without parole. So Damian had spent 18 years in solitary confinement. And I mean, he came out, he couldn't see. Yeah, he couldn't see. He had to wear protective glasses. I think he still does have to wear protective glasses, actually, because of the damage from being in solitary so long. And, he was so pale, he was see-through type shit. So his life was still very much on the line. And so this Alford plea that the state offered was basically a guaranteed lifesaver for Damian. And because of that, Damian was able to talk with Jason and Jesse, and they kind of agreed to save Damian's life. They would go this route because the other route was uncertain. And the other route, I mean, they had been convicted and everyone believed all this bullshit. So I would be afraid of going that way too, So by doing this, they had to plead guilty. But what the Alford plea means is you plead guilty, but the state doesn't actually have enough evidence to prove it in court. So with that, as Aaron Moriarty was saying, is the case is still closed. So even though these guys did the Alford plea, because they were convicted, Arkansas was saying, well, we're still not going to investigate because these guys did it. And we still believe they did it. Oh, yeah. And these fuckers, the prosecutor, the judge, to this day, if they're still alive, still think these guys are guilty because they're so fucking up their own asses and refuse to fucking be honest and refuse to say we got it fucking wrong. And I mean, that's what we're dealing with these fucking cops. And that's Jerry Holman will absolutely go to his grave, no matter what happens with Rick Allen, saying that man is guilty. Because if he doesn't, then he has to take ownership over the fact that he ruined an innocent man's life.
Man, I can't stand that motherfucker.
Can't stand that, but what do you call him?
I can't stand that turkey gobbler neck piece of shit. Like he's the biggest piece of garbage shit that you could think of, right? Because listen, y'all, this case really done changed me. I'm telling y'all, like it really done. And I ain't even look. I ain't even at the jits of it yet. I'm getting my baptism with y'all tonight, and I'm so humbly thankful for that. But what I do know so far,
I was waiting for you to call him a pussycat because that's like my favorite. That's my favorite. But hey, another similarity. I think they what was it? Spogues up until I think the 20th of February. Unified Command lost all the recordings of any interrogation that they did. And then you compare that to West Memphis 3. Jesse was interrogated for 12 hours.
oh
12.
wow,
So
12
not only does he have
hours.
like low, like lower IQ, 12 hours, and I think only like an hour of it was recorded out of 12.
Yep.
So it's like you also have like, can we find a cop that can work a DVR anywhere that could work a recording device? It's really not difficult. And it's just again just another really weird similarity that you see. Yeah.
Yeah, like when Classic sent me shout out to Bob and Ali Mata, the dynamic duo. When he sent me when Classic sent me the video of him stating, they put him in that prison, right, to try to break him, and they broke him. Right. Y'all imagine being in a little bathroom every day for 23 fucking hours. Right? And look, like you said, how is that normal? A pretrial defendant who innocent, right? Innocent. And he get put in a prison. And then I had that video to see how that freaking shower look. And look, it just make no sense, right? He was held in solitary confinement and not able to see his wife for like what, 4 or 5 months?
Yeah, like, come to find out, I didn't even know this, but this specific detail, he didn't even get a working fucking TV and shit like that until a confession. So he didn't even get to see his wife for the first time until after that first confession.
So think about that, right? That's what I think about. This is an Army veteran. He know what they doing to him, right? He know that. So they telling him, and I truly believe this with everything in me. They telling him what they gonna do to his wife and daughter if you don't say this, right? He on the phone. When I heard him say, "I can't stop, baby, because there's someone next to me." Yeah, what are they doing? Do they got somebody tell me he got taser? Can you imagine, right? What they did to him in them 4 months that broke him. He said, "Okay, I'm protecting my wife and my daughter. I will say anything y'all want me to say." But this is what's crazy. The penguin face girl shit, right? I can't stand that funny looking ass woman with nothing in me. Like this is criminal, right? And what fucked me up and reason why this changed me, this case is just so clear cut, no debating. Richard Allen had no parts of this. And he has been railroaded like you've never seen a person railroaded in my life, right? And the government, Nobody. So you telling me our eyes just see this? Y'all gonna see the incompetence in this, right? And me going over, horse face, the pussycat and ass Holzman, right? His deposition to hear this dirty dog son of a bitch with the arrogance in him and just say no, 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 no to all these major characters, Ron Logan, Clegan, his daddy, what's his name? Time? What's his that?
Tony Klein. Yeah.
Tony
Yep.
Klein, a wacko dude, a red wacko, whatever the name. It was just so many bunch of names. And like you said earlier, True Crime Keith, pedophilia with all of them motherfuckers being involved. Now hold up, I'm tripping. Elvis, what is we doing? So you telling me, you dirty bastard? He came back to the
He going
car.
there.
He came back to the car and said, if my spit is found on her, this won't come back on me. And that fucking pussycat, like triple gobble neck piece of shit, said no. And I listen, that deposition was worse than Michael Proctor on the stand.
Yeah, not to mention Elvis and credit to All Eyes for getting us this, but Elvis's boy Rod Abrams was in a police vehicle being interviewed, and he openly stated that Elvis was on Facebook talking to 12-year-old girls the same age as Abby and Libby at the time. There's so much more against them than there is against Richard Allen. It's not even funny, Ray. And
I
then
forgot about that true
yeah,
crime.
yeah.
He like,
Um,
oh, he put his head under the cover. Sick piece of shit. What do you mean he put his head under the
Yep.
cover?
It's yeah, I don't know how he knows that he was talking to a girl that age, but also doesn't know what they're talking about because he had his head over the cover. But I don't know what they talk about over coffee in the morning. None of us do. It's just really fishy there.
Yeah, a lot of it fishy. Like, he clearly lied and said they went in Muncie. Is that the city, Muncie? Like, Ned,
Yes.
Elvis, and
At the hospital visiting
huh?
a friend.
Excuse me?
Mm-hmm.
Hold up. You telling me that they was found on Ron Logan property in them? Hold up. Not only that, did you tell me that Ron Logan, that dirty, ugly mustache motherfucker, his polygraph, he failed? And then hold up, horse face ass Hosman, you said it. No, it was no need to. Now look, this is what bothers me the most, right? The people like Classic say who didn't cooperate, right? Hey, they flew off like the birds in the sky. Richard Allen, who cooperated, right? Willingly.
Fucking
And
preach it.
man, listen, that's why I'm so motivated, right? I'm so motivated to go hard every single day about this because I just, it bothers me, right? Because I knew nothing about this. I tell the audience, I knew nothing about this case. Nothing until a month or something ago. I knew nothing about it. And it bothers me that if anybody take a real clear look at everything, why ain't this the biggest story from where I'm at, from where y'all at, to around the globe, bigger than anything?
It's like the perfect storm that this small town knew they were going to get away with. I think they hoped that we would just give up. I really do. I think they thought, like a lot of murder cases, when someone's found guilty, a lot of people just go, okay, well, that's not happening here. We are not stopping until Rick Allen is free. And I think before we get into our full on, so the actual series and our dive into Before Day One is probably going to start next week. We're going to start next week. My ADHD has been treated much better lately. So we're going to start next week. But tonight I also want to do a little buffer. I want us to watch a little video about the history of Indiana a little bit. It's not like super long, and it's a certain type of history, so it won't be that boring. I'll get it eventually, don't worry, guys.
I'm gonna watch chat while you do.
Yeah, man. I just like I'm bothered for real, y'all. Like this case ain't oh sorry.
No, you're good, but I love you filling up the fucking dead air. Thank
The
you.
history of racism and hate groups in Indiana and their impact on our lives today.
I was interested in learning more.
We're answering your questions about the Hoosier State as part of our Inquire Indiana project. A Bloomington resident asked us to find out more about the history of racism and hate groups in Indiana and their impact on our lives today.
I was interested in learning more about racism and in Indiana specifically, and the after effects of that, so Jim Crow and segregation and all of those kind of things, because I feel that we don't talk about that stuff, and it's an important part of our history, and we shouldn't be afraid to talk about it, because without talking about it, we're not going to address the issues that are happening today.
As Barbara Brozier reports, that history in Indiana is long and complicated.
Though it's evolved over the years, racism's been a constant in Indiana history. It's been around much longer than the state itself. But we see the attitudes manifest in Indiana's first constitution in 1816. While it prohibited slavery, it also didn't allow black men to vote.
And in many other ways, the pioneers at the very beginning excluded African Americans from citizenship and from full participation in everyday life in Indiana. And that pattern laid down at the very beginning persisted into the 20th century.
The Ku Klux Klan became powerful in Indiana in the 1920s, when it had significant influence over state politics. In 1924, voters elected Edward Jackson as governor, who was rumored to be a Klan member because of his close ties with Indiana Klan leader D.C. Stevenson.
The Klan had many enemies. Certainly the Klan's enemies included African Americans, but the Klan enemies also include Jewish Hoosiers, and above all, and most importantly, Catholics and immigrants. And many immigrants were Catholics.
Wait.
They came from
Catholics? Even if they're white?
Yeah. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Okay, first of all, I'm just gonna say this. It was kind of fucked up that he said most importantly Catholics. Like, what the fuck was that, dude?
I mean, come on. I was baptized in First Holy Communion Catholic. We're kind of rough.
No, I get that, but he was like, yeah, African Americans, the Jewish population in Indiana, and most importantly, Catholics. Like, hold the phone. No. No, but listen, so a lot of, especially like neo-Nazi groups, right? Super dangerous ones, have abandoned Catholicism, and that's why you see things like Odinistic beliefs, because many people of color around the world are Catholic, right? Like the Hispanic population, very Catholic, and a lot of the white supremacist groups do not want to be associated with that. Italians, even back like when we first started, Italian immigrants were like, I know one of the first, besides, I don't really count like people being racist against the Irish. I think it's silly, like in America.
Thank you. I hate when people say that. I'm Irish.
I think it's kind of stupid. Italians, though, a little bit different, because they were like, I mean, there's like nicknames for them, that's actually, so a lot of Italians, a lot of Hispanics were Catholics. The white supremacist groups wanted nothing to do with that. So they start to form their own subsects of different beliefs and followings and religions, and that's how you end up with something like Asatru-Odinism. So, okay.
Oh wow.
God, you be knowing your shit.
Wow,
and
dude,
in
that's
ways
deep.
I don't even realize you're gonna know your shit. And I'm like,
Hey,
yeah.
Who was this fucking guy, though? I'm going to email him. What do you mean most
What the
importantly?
fuck? Most importantly,
That
Kennedy's
really
like,
bothering me.
Eastern Europe and Southern Europe, Italian Americans, Polish Americans, and the Klan in Indiana in the 1920s labeled them as the people most responsible for tearing down America, for taking America off the good path that it was on and tearing it down.
It was during that same decade that Indianapolis opened its first and only all-black high school, Crispus Attucks.
When it first was built, it was built out of racism. The school board members at that time were Ku Klux Klan members. They did not want white students and black students going to high school together.
Patricia Payne's parents were in the first 2 graduating classes, and their pictures still hang on the walls.
My father was in the first graduating class of Crispus Attucks. That was 1928.
While the school was born out of racism, Payne says it became a symbol of strength for the black community. Many of the teachers were university professors who couldn't get jobs elsewhere. They challenged and encouraged the students, who left the school culturally and academically prepared.
What happened was we took lemons and made lemonade.
Now there's a museum in the high school that tells the story of much more than Crispus Attucks. It starts as far back as ancient Egypt.
The museum is important also because we make sure that all children who come here understand that the history of black people did not start on a plantation in America.
The exhibits on the walls are far from the only evidence of racism we can find today in Indiana. It's clear in the makeup of school systems, neighborhoods, and jail populations. Decisions made decades ago are still having an impact today. Like the decision Indianapolis city leaders made in the 1970s to unify Marion County and Indianapolis governments, but not the school systems.
You look at what it did to public education and how in many ways the divisiveness we have with school districts that we now determine IPS and then suburban districts, if you will, which are really not all that suburban anymore, really shifted issues around access and issues around parity and quality and equity that unfortunately have fallen along racial lines.
And as you follow the path of I-65 and I-70, you'll travel right through the middle of what once were vibrant black communities in Indianapolis, torn apart to make way for the roads.
And I can still see my parents sitting on the bed crying when they were told, and I guess it's called eminent domain, when they were told we had to move. Now this is the house we had grown up in. And right now, the highway goes right through and that happens in a lot of black communities where that highway goes right through and disrupts the entire neighborhoods.
I don't know how you ever...
That's interesting. Didn't another highway do that in this story? Hoosier Heartland Highway, maybe?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
Except it didn't do it to black families, but it did do it to a lot of old-time white families that were very, very mad that they lost their shit. Yeah, a lot of people lost their land and shit.
For really rebound from that, at least not in a short amount of time, because it then begins to create certain impediments and barriers for other economic development, because when you do infrastructure that really begins to define what's possible, it makes it very difficult to get not only economies of scale, but really the type of critical mass of resources that will allow certain communities and neighborhoods to be vibrant again.
Those scars make it hard for Indiana to buck the reputation of being a closed-minded, sometimes racist state.
This is modern to when this video is happening, by the way. Just want to point that out. I'm sure we're all aware, but
Just last year, the KKK held a rally in Madison, but the event drew far more protesters.
Across the state in small towns, I sense that there is a movement toward more acceptance and a movement against hatred and dismissiveness.
to be fair, let me make sure. I'm pretty sure this video was 2015? No, 3 years ago? So, yeah, no, this is older than that. Hold, please.
At least a decade, right?
Something oh. So they're full of shit. 2019, we were not moving. Okay.
Toward those who are different.
Madison
Uh-oh, we
says
lost
that's
Ray.
what it will take for Indiana to rewrite its reputation. Hoosiers standing up and demanding change.
Any problems we have today, just like the problems we had when the Klan was in power in Indiana in 1924, are really our fault as citizens. This is a democracy, and it's up to the people to decide what we want.
Barbara joins us again. Well, this is a topic you could just talk all day about, isn't it?
Unfortunately, it is. You know, racism is a complicated issue. We barely scratched the surface with our story, which had some examples in Indianapolis. But of course, racism is not confined to one community. It happens everywhere, urban or rural area.
And some people tend to think of Martinsville as an area that's associated with racism. Where does that come from?
That's one of the first things I heard when I moved to Bloomington is that was what someone told me about Martinsville. And where that comes from, a lot of people point to back in the 1960s. That's when 21-year-old Carol Jenkins Davis was actually stabbed to death, a young black woman who was selling encyclopedias in Martinsville. The man arrested for that murder actually died before the case ever went to trial. And so there was no sense of justice in that sense. And then on top of that, the city has just struggled with that reputation of possibly being a racist or hateful community since then because of several things that have happened. You see video now from a ceremony where the community honored Jenkins Davis. They put a memorial stone and a tree in her honor, but that was after some years of opposition to doing something to memorialize her. So it's hard to buck that reputation, but a lot of communities are trying really hard to do so.
Barbara, thank you so much.
Man charged as part of the violence.
We're answering your questions about the...
So that is just like a brief touch on the history of racism in Indiana. It's far, far worse than anything they were talking about. You guys, the amount of hate groups that operate out of Indiana is insane. And the amount of rallies these groups have in Indiana is insane. Like, I mean, in California, there are so many ways that we go about making sure these things don't happen in our streets. But for some reason, in places like Indiana, they just freely get to do whatever the fuck they want. It's funny how that works.
Oh, man.
So, Ray, I wanted to get this is another reason why I love having you join us, because we are going to be touching on this shit constantly. So I would love to get your take on the history of Indiana. Did you know how bad this was over there?
No. I actually didn't know how bad it was. This is a great history lesson for me today. It's terrible, right? And you know, it's something that you got to look at, right? Because it's real. It ain't, you know, as it used to be, but it's real though, you know. So, and it's real for every race though, you know, not for just one in particular, right? Because I see it every day. So that's why I tell people, and why I tell y'all this case changed me. Like, I ain't worried about, like small things no more. Like, when I do it, I think about Richard Allen. I think about the GOAT. I think about other people who have injustice and corruption done against them. So, yeah. So that's why I say, love your neighbor, be kind, right? All of us together, we could make it happen, So.
Man, charged as part of the violence at a white supremacist rally in Virginia, has pleaded guilty in the case. Dennis Mothersbaugh, who lives in North Vernon, pleaded guilty to a charge of misdemeanor assault for punching a protester at the rally in Charlottesville. The punch was captured on cell phone video. It's also how police on video.
I actually hadn't seen this yet. Wait. Damn. That's fucked up. Hold on.
It's also how police identified him. Jail records show the rally in Charlottesville. The punch was captured on cell phone video. It's also how police identified him. Jail records show he is set to be released from jail January 26th.
A whole ass
woman.
woman.
Fined $1,500.
Team 8 and the increase in white supremacy activity in Indiana. A new report by the Anti-Defamation League shows Indiana saw an 80% increase in public displays of white supremacy in 2022.
ITMate's Cody Fisher analyzed the report to find out where this is happening.
80% increase in 2022. Wasn't that the year Rick Allen was arrested?
Damn.
Weird.
He was noble.
The report shows that the majority of white supremacist activity is happening right here in Indianapolis.
Concerning. Dr. Daryl Heller is the director of the Civil Rights Heritage Center at IU South Bend. He says this is so concerning because of how quickly public displays of white supremacy have increased, with a 1,500% increase in Indiana since 2016. There seems to have been 100% increase in public displays of white supremacy have increased, with a 1,500% increase in Indiana since 2016.
Wow.
All right, guys, we gotta talk. Okay, so I am gonna preface this before I say it. I don't care what political views you have. I don't care if you're Republican. I don't care if you're Democrat. Shit, I was a Democrat. I'm not even a Democrat anymore. I don't care what you are, all right? But there are some ties we have with this current administration and the rise of white supremacy. And that's not to offend anyone. It's just a part of the story. And so we have to discuss it. Okay. So 1,500% increase in white hate groups, specifically in Indiana, since 2016.
Oh, wow.
2016 was the year that Trump was elected. Okay? Now, I'm not saying it's a Republican thing. What I'm saying is, for some reason, when Trump was running and after he was elected, he, don't know why, made a lot of friends with a lot of these groups, all right? He was seen having lunch with the Proud Boys, like shit like that, all right? So we noticed that once he was running and all this shit and he won and he became president, for some reason, there has been a major increase in white Christian nationalism and white hate groups in general. And for some reason, Indiana seems to love these people. I don't know what it is. But our friend Carroll County, probably one of the top.
There seems to have been a new kind of agreement that things that weren't said before can be said publicly. This is video from last September of the white supremacy group Patriot Front marching through downtown Indianapolis.
Their goal is to elicit fear and intimidate a community and create this idea that there's more of them than there are of us.
David Goldenberg with the Anti-Defamation League says the most common form of white supremacy they're seeing is propaganda.
It comes across as very populist, right? And it's not until you go to the website that's usually on that literature that you realize the hate that's behind this propaganda.
He says white supremacy groups choose propaganda because it's low cost, low risk, and potentially has a high impact.
Well, we might say, oh, it's the spread of a flyer or a sticker. It's often an entry point. And we know that when that increases, the, shall we say, real life incidents where people can get hurt or even worse increase as well.
Dr. Heller says everyone in the community should do their best to fight against these ideologies.
Certainly it should be called out when it's happening. We can't, silence, I think, is almost always complicity.
At the same time, Heller says it's important to try and have conversations with white supremacists, to try and break through and change their beliefs.
To try to speak across differences and to find the spaces where we can really have legitimate conversations to really try to find out where are those points of tension and where are the points of commonality.
The ADL says even though they're seeing an increase in the amount of white supremacist activities, it's hard for them to tell if more people are actually joining white supremacy groups or if a smaller number of people are just more vocal than they've ever been. Reporting in Indianapolis, Cody Fisher.
So I think my personal view is that it had more to do with a lot of people that were silent feeling like they had the ability to not be silent anymore. Like they felt strength in numbers. They felt the ability to say this kind of awful shit and be about this kind of awful shit freely, because I think they saw the world supporting Trump and knowing Trump was not the world, but the country supporting Trump and seeing him rubbing elbows with these people. And I don't know, it became some kind of weird accepted thing. And what were you going to say? Oh, okay. So the reason why I'm touching on this and Indiana's history with this is that I think it's really important when we get to the very beginning of this investigation. Very early on, we get into the suspicion of Odinism and, what the crime scene looked like and the rumors of, how the girls were positioned or yada, yada, yada. And as you were touching on earlier, Ray, in Jerry Holman's deposition, fucking crazy, but in that deposition specifically, Jerry Holman says something about Patrick Westphal, how they couldn't investigate Patrick Westphal for the crime because basically he wouldn't let them. Basically, they tried to talk to him, and he just wasn't having it. That's basically what Jerry made it sound like. So, and at the same time, Jerry's also using Patrick Westphal's best buddy, Brad Holder, as like his Odinism expert. So you mean to tell me, Jerry Holman, that you know for a fact that Patrick Westphal, it's very fucking obvious, just look his name up. Patrick Westphal had tons of involvement with multiple groups, but most importantly, Vinlanders, who are a very prevalent white supremacist gang, specifically in Indiana. He knows that Patrick Westphal is one of those. He knows that Patrick Westphal has a huge rap sheet of violence. And when Patrick Westphal says, "No, I don't want to talk to you," he just says, "All right." Why? Why would you not care? Why wouldn't you care? Why wouldn't you want to look into that man? Especially with the whole community, like, talking about him. I mean, we literally have to take this and pick it apart with the most basic things. Like, ask yourself, what would stop a cop from fucking investigating someone like that?
One thing I want to add, just from the videos that we've watched and everything too, Ray, have you lived in Texas your whole life?
Well, not my whole life. I done stayed other places.
Okay.
But most of my life, though.
Okay. The whole reason I say that is, like, I think a lot of, like, a lot of regular people in the U.S., when they think of, racism and they think of these white supremacy groups, they immediately go to, like, the South, right? So you think like, Florida, backwoods Mississippi, and again, there's a rampant racism in the South, but it's not proprietary to the South. Other places, Indiana, the Midwest. I live in Ohio. There's plenty of groups out here that, I mean, you see them. You see them on the overpass bridge of the highway protesting and stuff, whatever they're doing with their, bandanas on their faces, things like that. So there's a lot of people like that everywhere, and I think that's another thing to keep in mind. Indiana was a very much so supporting Union state during the Civil War. And that doesn't necessarily mean that there aren't people like this. If you pull up a map of where by the actual US government standards, what they deem to be poverty, you pull up a map of those areas and you look in the rural areas, and then you pull up like the ADL map, and I don't want to cite the SPLC because they're going through a lot right now. But if you pull up those maps, they're very similar. There's a lot of characteristics between people who are, openly racist and white supremacists enough to like tell a surveyor that they're part of this group. And there's a connection between that too. So I think a lot of it is like rural poverty. They don't grow up experiencing other people, other cultures, things like that. There's a lot to say about that. Like, obviously there's a political side to it, which like what folks talked about, right? But I think there's also a lot of other underlying factors. And it's not just proprietary to the South, how we normally might think it would be, like an unassuming person. Um, to assume that it's really scary. So when we talk about like the onus, what their motivation was, which we'll get to that later. It's a very weird. A lot of the people who believe Richard Allen is guilty, they like to make the argument of like, well, why would a white supremacist group be motivated to kill two white girls, right? That might on the surface be a valid argument, but there's a array of different possibilities. There are so many different angles that could be motivated by that. The argument that the defense made was that it was their way of sending a message to the community because one of the girls' mothers, I believe, was in a relationship with a black man or connected in some way, shape, or form.
Long-standing rumor that has never been clarified, and
Correct.
even she has had the opportunity to say that's not true, and she never
Right.
has. So I think that's
Right.
important. And we're talking about Abigail Williams's mother. There's a long-standing rumor that Abby Williams's mother was dating a black man. Not a big fucking deal. Who cares? But over there, I guess it was maybe.
Oh, he said himself. He said if you want to stay with your own kind because that's like a polo bear, panda, whatever he said, going with a black bear. You stupid fucking idiot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Patrick told us that. Oh, Jesus Christ. So Patrick Westphal also, while we're talking on this, Patrick Westphal, another thing about him was on Facebook. I mean, he's a white supremacist, but on Facebook he used the name Tyson Yeager, which I believe was the last name of. Do you know this story better than I do, Keith? No? Okay, so there was an individual. Let me look it up so I don't say this wrong because I don't want to say a victim's name wrong.
Okay, while you do that, I will say, of course, JJ coming back from purgatory. Page 17 of the Franks memo that the defense wrote was that Patrick Westphal, as being the person actually responsible for the murders of Abby and Libby, according to police reports, Brad Holder told his ex-wife that Westphal and his people killed Abby and Libby because one of their mothers was mixing with other people outside the mother's race. That's directly from the Franks memorandum. So you have that. You have a lot of these groups, the way they fund themselves is through the methamphetamine trade. We won't get in the rabbit hole about how one of the girls' dads was a big part of that too. But there's so much that can go into something like that, Ray, that I wanted to kind of bring up as we were talking about the history in Indiana and how this ties into it. So, but yeah, that's directly from the Franks.
Yeah, and that's what stunned me. Like that Frank motion when I found out, and I'm just saying, like that was like every time I look at this, right, it just seems like something bigger happens, right? But the Frank motion, when I found out like that Cuz was putting pressure on him like to get the Purdue professor and like he wouldn't do it, but then when the Frank motions dropped, then hey, here you go.
Yeah, they said they couldn't find that guy for a long time, and they knew exactly who he was and what his name was. And Jerry Holman had specifically interviewed him and spoke with the professor Jeffrey Turco and effectively tried to convince Turco that the sticks left on the girls weren't runes, they weren't Germanic script. And Jeffrey Turco was like, "No, dude, they like literally are." He did not waver in that at all. He was very nice about it because you're talking to a guy with a gun and a badge. You know, you're not going to get too argumentative. At least a normal, regular person, I like to think, wouldn't. But yeah, it was a very, very, very interesting concept. And you know, we've been talking about Todd Click and how he was effectively retaliated against, in our opinion, for his theory that it goes back to these groups. Just the amount that's gone into protecting these people is wild.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I'm putting so much focus on this too. Is everything in this fucking case seems to have some sort of tie to these people. Like I can't get away from it. Everything, every theory can literally tie back to someone who has a connection to one of these groups. So it's just like, and I mean, Keith, you and I were doing a show recently, and Todd Click was speaking. He was making comments on Murder Sheet's podcast, and I found it very interesting that he said that he didn't believe there was any Odinist ritual or sacrifice, or he didn't think there was some religious sacrifice, but they did believe that the same people as the defense believed were involved. And we know that the defense believed that Patrick Westphal, Brad Holder, Elvis Fields, all these people that had ties to the Vinlanders were who they suspected. So that led me to believe that Click, Murphy, Ferenczi were of the belief that one of these hate groups had committed this crime for a gang reasons, I believe. So who knows what that reason is? But yeah, like you were saying, there are aspects to our victims. Abigail Williams, her mother supposedly maybe dating a black man. There's that, but there's also, you know, unfortunately, Libby seemed to have taken the most of the attack. And we know that Libby's father, Derek German, was a CI. I mean, even in those one of those depositions, one of the cops pretty much, about Derek German being a CI. So pretty confident he was. We also know he ratted out some meth dealers prior to this. So
He's listed as a snitch on snitch.com.
I didn't know that. No,
He was at some point in time. He was listed as a snitch on snitch.com.
That's wild. So a lot of these gangs in Indiana are these white supremacist gangs. And guess what these gangs do to make money?
What's that?
They run drugs and shit. All these gangs, they do weapons, they do drugs. It's what they do. Like Hell's Angels, white supremacist gangs, they all do this shit, right? And
they're not CPS managers.
And when I think about if Libby was the main target, and I think about Click, Murphy, Ferenczi all believing that people involved in one of these gangs were involved, and we've got Rick's defense team also believing that these people involved in these white supremacist gangs were involved, and you think about the fact that Libby was the most targeted, and the fact that her father was definitely a CI and had ratted out just prior to this, one might think maybe a gang running these fucking drugs got revenge on Derek German. We just don't know which group. But I mean, when you look at the people that are most suspected, that are the highly suspected of actually committing this crime, they all tie back to the Vinlanders. So, throughout our dive, I'm not even gonna so much have to focus on, like, go back to that. You're gonna see just through the investigation and all these people, it's gonna be right there in your face that they all have some sort of association with these groups. So,
but I'm just so lost though. So, you said that's your most intriguing part. So, a part I seen was Kelsey, right? And that threw another monkey wrench in the game for me, because it was like your sweater and you're laughing in all these interviews like this is funny or something. This ain't no funny stuff. Then you got your little girly looking boyfriend back there rolling his eyes like that was disturbing to me. And I ain't putting no, but it just it points at every direction except Richard Allen. Like, and this is what bothers me. Like, when they went back out there, they found the bullet, and y'all was gone in 20 minutes. Come on now. Come on. Now. Oh, the magical, what they call it? The lock. What? Come on. Oh, my God.
Oh, his keepsake box?
Yeah, keepsake box.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
come on now. Come on now. It just show me, right? Like the fake Matthew McCartney looking motherfucker, like doing the most. Like this is stunning, and I'm telling you, I am so motivated, and I'm so confused why this case ain't bigger than what it is. I am confused why more people are not pushing. I'm sorry.
So Classic, our beloved Classic, was able to provide me with this real quick. Holy shit.
He's got a dope snitch hashtag. Yeah, how
Dude,
bad that has to be.
He was young here. He was young. He don't look like this no more.
Yeah.
Wait, posted on 2022. That's interesting.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, it is.
That's after Rick Allen was arrested.
Yeah, you know who's not a dope snitch and never has been and has never been listed? Richard Allen.
Richard Allen. He actually worked at a pharmacy, and as far as we know, no issues. That's wild. Look at this. Current home address, censored, Delphi, Indiana, dope snitch, Bad Boy John. Has anyone clicked Bad Boy John? Ooh! Who else has Bad Boy John reported? Can you look that up? I don't know. But I wonder if there's a way to reach out to this gentleman.
Who is Bad Boy John?
Bad Boy John, if you're watching this, I'd love to hear from you. That's so weird that it's so much later than the crime, because everyone kind of knew about Derek German in this years ago. Right? I mean, pretty soon after the crime, this shit was going around. And also important to note that he was never investigated.
Wow, really?
Even like, no. And apparently Kelsey said she was questioned very heavily, which I found interesting.
You know who Bad Boy John is?
Who?
Bad Boy John Gallipo.
Who is that?
Warden at Westville. Bad Boy
shit.
John Gallipo. Yeah.
Oh my God. Can you imagine?
Yep. He heard through the grapevine out in Westville.
Oh man.
EG is beat. Well, never mind. I won't go there. Anyways.
That's fucking wild. Thank you, Classic. That's crazy.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It's snitchtracker.com. Not snitch.com. I got it wrong. My bad.
It should be snitch.com.
Or maybe it was Bad Boy John Miller. Wasn't he the guard that lied on his resume to get the job? And the defense objected, or no, the prosecution objected that line of questioning. It was sustained by Goal. Goal did not allow the defense to ask a guard if he lied about his work history to get a job to be Rick's guard. And then they allow those motherfuckers to testify as like learned experts on Rick's mental state. Sorry. Just we were talking about Johns for a second.
I mean, like the absolute insanity of everything in this case. I mean, I think, Ray, that's probably why it keeps you up, because it's like everywhere you look, in a normal world, in a normal city, in a normal state, Rick Allen would have never been charged. So it's just fucking maddening when you, everywhere you look, it's like, no, why isn't that guy arrested? Why didn't they try to fucking charge that guy? Like, what the
I'm
fuck?
sorry, I'm gonna have to keep my camera off. I'm sorry.
No, you do your thing. You do your thing.
But no, but that is why I'm worked up, right? Because it's just stunning to me, right? Like the pieces is right there, and then you got what's his name that leave with the beaver lizard looking motherfucking and Doug gonna say if you don't like how the case is going, leave America. What the fuck are you? Who you talking to?
Oh yeah, Doug Carter said that. That bitch would.
Yeah, who the fuck you talking to?
Mr. I spent all my time going to a fucking restaurant.
Has anyone, Ray, have you ever seen, has anyone here ever seen after a conviction, a press conference where two things happen? The family has asked the convicted not to appeal his case, which he has a constitutional right to do that, as well as the lead on the case getting up and telling people if they don't like the way things happen to leave the country. I've never seen those two things in my life. If someone has a case where either of those has happened, I would love to see it. But that's just another major abnormality. You know what I mean? And I think it goes back to what Spug said about a lot of people being emboldened to say probably things they shouldn't say, but what they feel they can say.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Words have an impact.
They felt they could do and say whatever the fuck they wanted to, and technically they did, and good, because look where we are now.
And like, dude, what y'all was doing ain't adding up. So if y'all don't think y'all gonna get these tough questions and people feeling a certain type of way, then why the hell are you in this profession?
Right. Well,
and just if that's me, if that's my granddaughter, and a man was convicted of her unaliving, and I'm that confident that he was the guy, I'm getting up at a press conference and I'm going, appeal. Do everything you can. Do your worst because you're the guy. And they just couldn't do that. They couldn't get up there and go, you're the guy. No matter what you do, you're not getting out of this. Go ahead and appeal. I dare you. I'll be there for trial number 2 if I have to. Nothing like that. It was don't appeal. Don't do what you have a right to do. That's wild to me.
Man, everything about this case is wild, man. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it's heartbreaking too, right? It's heartbreaking just having to look at everything, and I ain't even seen the gist of everything. It's a lot more, and it's hurt my heart, right? Like,
so you were touching on Kelsey, and I find the aspect of her in this to be very interesting. I've never thought like she was involved. I do have a theory, just for funsies. I'm going to throw it out there. I've always kind of thought that Kelsey had some involvement with the setting up of meeting up with Anthony Schatz that day. And I mean, with the way she has lied about knowing about Anthony Schatz and then pretended to be brand new information in 2021 or whenever when they announced his arrest. It's just always been very weird to me, and it seems like a lot of her lying kind of surrounds that portion of the story. So I just wouldn't be surprised if if there was some weird sisterly shit and she thought it'd be funny to set up Libby with a fucking catfish or some shit. I don't, who knows? I don't know. But Kelsey definitely was there searching for the girls after they had been kidnapped. And I think that's important to say because there's a long amount of time those girls, fucking, you guys will make up your own decision as we set this off, but those girls weren't there. You know, someone took them somewhere for some amount of time, in my belief. So.
Yeah. And so I've actually visited myself. I know there's probably people in our chat that have visited the area, Ray, and there's some videos out there. Amy Case by Case has done a lot with Julie Melvin, like a local there. And you can see, I think Who's Your Old Cold Case has had some old videos where he's like walked the trails too. It's very, you know, the trail is like, it's a decent trail, like walking it, and then just kind of all of a sudden, boom, you're right there. The bridge is right there. The bridge was like, it kind of looks a little bit longer in distance than in videos, and like when you actually like, you know, you get up against it, it's still a decent length. But the biggest thing is underneath is a private drive that extends around, and right at the end of the bridge where that Libby shot the video and where they're told to go down the hill, if you know, assuming they actually went directly down the hill, they would have hit that private drive before they would have crossed the creek, and gone up this really kind of tough embankment to where they were eventually found. It has all of the makings of a kidnapping where they were dropped off later. Then it does make sense that somehow they miraculously made it across that creek. Richard Allen got them across that creek when he's 5'6". How tall was the creek? You remember how tall the creek was?
It's about 3.5.
Yeah, 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
The phone was miraculously
not wet.
Yeah.
Because there was no wet code. Now we know, confirmed.
Correct. So it's just, you know, for a guy, even, you know, with a gun, to get two girls down a hill across a creek, up a pretty steep embankment into kind of like this depressed area where they were eventually found. And then he, in the middle of the day at 2:15 p.m. decides to kill them when there are other people on the trail, like not directly at the time.
He would have passed them.
Right. Right. So, but if you're standing on the bridge, you can hear like the cemetery area beyond where they were even found. You could hear very, very, very easily, I would say. Pretty hard of hearing. I could still hear. It's just everything about it, Ray, does not make sense that some random CBS manager with zero history of the only hint of a history of violence was when he was having some conflict with himself and he was, you know, potentially thinking about hurting himself. And we haven't even seen the full report on that, so we don't know the context or anything like that.
Oh yeah, you didn't know about
No.
this? Oh, this is really okay. So, Keith, you are better with words. I'm going to let you.
Okay, I'll make it really, really simple. Richard Allen has not lived a life any different than your normal Midwest boomer man. Okay, he goes to work. He gets up ass early in the morning. We're talking about like 3-4 in the morning. Spokes' works retail. She knows. I mean, we both.
Oh my god,
right?
Killing me.
Drives
I
all the
worked
way
at
to work.
Jamages for 6 years, y'all. Kill me. Okay.
Well, yeah, drives. You know how those like morning inventories are? They're terrible. But drives all the way to work every day. He comes home. He pulls a lawn chair out, sits at the end of his driveway, drinks a couple beers, smokes a couple cigarettes, and then he struggles with depression, anxiety. He's been married to his wife for decades. So he had a little bit at the height of his very common, very American mental health issues. The only person he ever considered hurting was himself. He has no history of inappropriate communication with anyone, let alone minor children. He had a daughter who lived a wonderful life and testified that he was a great father, that he never harmed her. His internet search history is one of the most vanilla things compared to probably someone all of us know.
All of us in
All
here.
of us know. There's nothing in there virtually about anything related to the case. And I think the few things that were in there, Kathy, his wife, has told authorities that she was the one doing the searching.
Which makes more sense. Women love true crime.
He goes down and he talks to a cop at us in a Save-A-Lot parking lot and says, "Here's my fucking phone. Take my
Who
phone."
did this?
Richard Allen.
Richard Allen handed over his phone the very fucking time he met Dan Doolin.
We're talking what this was the 17th, right? Like 3 or 4
Yeah.
days after
Well,
everything went
he
down.
called on the 17th, I believe, and then it took
yeah,
a
okay.
few days to actually meet up. But maybe it was the 17th when they did finally get.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
so
Go ahead.
on that lead, that tip sheet, there's notes from Dan Doolin with the what is it, IMEI, but it's not. It's like MEID. His full MEID from the back of his phone when he handed it over to Dan Doolin the very day he got interviewed. And on the tip sheet, it says that his phone information was sent to ISP.
Oh,
And
wow.
then his tip sheet said cleared.
Oh, wow.
Do you know why he was cleared? He was cleared because Dan Doolin said he didn't meet the description of Bridge Guy.
Yep.
Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
Man, this guy, man, we can't make. Hold on. So, Richard went and gave them his phone.
As of 2017, the phone they now claim, well, he had every phone except that one. Well, he had that phone in 2017 when he was very first interviewed, and he handed it right over to Dan Doolin.
Oh, wow. This is stunning. This is stunning. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
It's one of the Gelcher's favorite arguments, too, isn't it? It's like, oh, he had every phone. They had like 16 phones in a bag, but not really. It was like tablets and shit and phones. And like,
That was all electronic devices. Like it was old fucking like laptops and shit. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're, yeah. Please
Yeah.
cut me off because I do that shit all the time and I can't control it.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I just wanted to make sure that was noted.
So Richard Allen got convicted, and he gave them his phone, and there was nothing in it.
I don't believe they ever even mentioned that shit during trial. Now that I think about it, the defense.
I honestly think they didn't do any research, and I believe they can now, but sorry, I just had a second thought that interrupted my first. Okay, so they were actually contacting people because they were looking up. It wasn't geofencing. It was they were pinging
the tower
right?
dump. The tower dump, right?
So they were calling people and saying, "Hey, we noticed you were here. Have you seen something we'd like to talk to you?" They did not do that with Richard Allen. He actually called them and said, "I was there that day earlier. Like something along the lines of like, if I could help, please let me know. Whatever, I'll come talk to you." They made a big deal about how he wouldn't come down to the station, but really he was just busy. He's like, "I'm at the Save-A-Lot." I think it was like, what was it, like a weekend? And he's like, and then Dan Doolin said, "I'll come talk to you there." Went there. No recording. I believe he had notes, but he got rid of them, which was very, very, very odd for Dan Doolin. In the probable cause affidavit, it clearly states that Rick had provided them with his phone information, and there was nothing further in that PCA. There was nothing further at trial. There was nothing further in the transcripts we saw afterwards that they did anything to like research him, because they just truly thought that he wasn't a part of this. And then everything went away until Kathy Shank found a tip randomly.
And they've actually never asked. I've never heard any of them asked about what happened. What did they look into that phone info? Like they've never been asked. So no one knows what happened after his phone info was sent to ISP, right? And I mean, there's got to be a record. I mean, sure, no, it's been
Nobody knows.
There's no any sort of like follow-up record to what ISP might have done with that phone information. And we also at the time have FBI helping with the investigation at this time. The FBI has their own records that we've never seen.
Oh my God. See, and that's the thing right there. they have records that y'all ain't seen yet?
Oh yeah, the FBI. People have actually tried to FOIA the FBI for this case specifically, and they said it was still open, and this was after he was convicted.
Ray, the video, the 43-second bridge guy video that you see, we still to this day would have never seen that unless some people who work with the defense really, really pushed one of the attorneys.
What you mean y'all wouldn't have seen it?
We wouldn't have seen it. The state isn't releasing it. There's still certain exhibits. There's certain, I guess, pieces of evidence that the state is not releasing.
The world was never supposed to see the actual BG video.
100%.
That was 43 seconds. We were never going to see him.
But like, and you know what else bothered me, y'all? Like,
oh, by the way, Ray, you're sideways. I don't know if it's maybe the way you put your phone. No, you're fine. You're fine. Just so you know.
You know me, y'all know me. Let me finish. Y'all know me. I'm Saboom, so.
There you go. Just do what's best.
Yeah. So, and y'all know what else bothered me? What I was gonna say? Damn, I lost my thought. But what was I gonna say? What bothered? What was you just saying?
Sorry.
I forgot to. I forgot. It'll come back to me because it's a lot of stuff that bothers me in this case. What the fuck was I gonna say? Well,
Royal We says in 60 to 70% of the exhibits that were released are completely redacted. That's also true. There's so much information redacted. Pages and pages for no reason. I guess because it said Abby and Libby.
Huh?
Well, yeah, they redacted pages that featured Abby and Libby's name. We have no idea why. That was the excuse. Anyway.
Oh my God, man! This case is, it's like so inside out because I'm thinking about, you know, the what's his name, the Bieber. He stayed around.
Oh, the BG video or who?
What is that guy name? What's it?
Ron Logan.
Not Logan. It was somebody else who stayed right there.
Oh, Brad Weber.
Yeah, Brad Weber. Him.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, nope. We didn't make nope. That's like nothing. Like fam. And then look, the sisters. Stephanie, God rest her soul, right? She was the one who lost her life. Did she give them a polygraph in one pass?
Hey, I am so glad you're bringing Stephanie up because when we get into the fire portion of our story, she will definitely be mainly featured in that story.
Because, but did I hear them say that the sister recanted the polygraph or something, and she came back and recanted her story? Is that correct?
No, I'm not sure about that. Someone in chat can help us with that, but I know that
I'm not sure.
Stephanie Thompson polygraphed multiple people who are connected to this case, to include, I'm told, Patrick Westphal when he was questioned about Flora. And then, here's for everyone in chat that doesn't know what we're talking about. Stephanie Thompson, let me look the date of this up so I don't fuck this up. February 17th, 2022. Interesting date. February 17th, 2022. That is the day that Stephanie Thompson and her high school aged daughter were killed in a massive house fire.
Oh, wow.
And they lived in a brick house.
Huh?
Mm-hmm. So the fire was so devastating from the inside, somehow. And Stephanie Thompson was dating a man who worked for the fire department, and they just didn't realize their smoke detector wasn't working.
What? Man, what the fuck? It's just... Oh.
I actually think Stephanie and her daughter, let me get her daughter's name so I don't fuck it up. I think it was Maya. They two female victims, okay, and they died on.
It was Maya.
It was Maya, and I believe that they died on February 17th, 2022. If I'm wrong about that, you guys correct me. But
No, it was February 17th, Monticello.
That's 5 years, and this is just me talking. This is just my opinion, guys. Okay, Stephanie Thompson and Maya died in that house fire miraculously. No fucking smoke detector or nothing in the dead of night, just like the Flora, just like every other arson and murder fucking in the area happens in the dead of night around 2 to 3 a.m. Fuck, I lost my train of thought and I'm not even high.
That's why I keep turning my camera off. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh, you with shabobs now, baby. You ain't got to. Oh, unless you're doing the real shit, then you probably should. Mine looks like my vape. But anyway, okay, so 5 years. So February 17th, 2022, when Stephanie and Maya lost their lives, it was 5 years since the death of Abby and Libby on February 14th, 2017, or I'm pretty sure they died after midnight. So Abby and Libby were killed February 14th, 2017. 5 years before that, February 17th, 2012, Evansdale, Iowa girls.
Wow.
Those are all 2 sets of female victims. And they're all 5 years apart. Pretty close in February dates. Just find that very interesting. So, yeah, that's one of those interesting, weird fucking side quests that we'll get to in the story.
Oh, you know what I was gonna say? With this what bothers me, right? You know, and this is the one that really bothered me when I was agreeing with I forgot who it was. It's Keegan Klein, because this Anthony Shots dude, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Anthony Shots dude, right? The Anthony Shots dude. Am I sideways?
Yeah.
I'm still sideways.
You're sideways, yeah, you're sideways.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, you're good. Be however you want to be.
So look, this Anthony Shots dude, this piece of shit, and Ash Holman said, yeah, it was him. It was him. So you know it was him, and you know that he was communicating with them girls, and you look the other way, but then now he gone down for 45 years. This just don't make no sense to me.
You know, Jerry Holman really had a hard on for he wanted Tony Klein for this. Bad. Until that Wabash River search didn't go the way they wanted it to. And that's when Rick Allen entered the picture. So when they did that Wabash search and they've talked to Kagan, they've talked to Tony, and they've gotten nowhere. And they spend a milli on the search in the Wabash River, and they get absolutely fucking nothing because Kagan was fucking with them. Because Kagan's a fucking liar.
And then the nerve of this dude, and shout out to Skinny, because he was letting me know in the chat that they spent $4.2 million on the trial, and the cocky son of a bitch and the fake Matthew McCartney looking motherfucker. What's his name? The DA. With the red.
McClellan?
McClellan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He made he spent $80,000 on the podium that didn't work? Or are you kidding me?
Are you fucking? I didn't even know that. Hey, look at you.
Man, I'm in the game.
Man, you are, baby.
Not to mention, some of the folks in Unified Command were working with a podcasting couple who had did like a 3-part hit piece on Tony Klein. And don't get me wrong, if everything that was said about him is true, Tony Klein's kind of a scumbag. I mean, he was a scumbag in the first place because like he kind of his child was running some serious shit on some electronic devices in their home, but at the same time, that doesn't necessarily mean he committed a homicide. And they they did kind of a smear campaign on the guy by having like actual people come and tell their story, their experience with him. So I'm not saying it was false, I'm not saying anything like that, but I'm just saying they did that. There was a search of the river, and then they found nothing. They found absolutely nothing, and they panicked because I mean there was an election along the way coming up, and a new sheriff was about to be in town and go and find out everything that they were either fucking doing or fucking not doing, which was problematic to them. And that's why you have that's why you have Doug Carter when they talk about at the press conference and announcing Richard Allen's arrest. You have Doug Carter going, they're like, "Do you think you got the guy?" And he goes, "Well, judge signed off on the arrest warrant." Like, what do you want me to say? Judge signed off on the arrest warrant.
That great warrant.
Yeah, right.
That great warrant that stars in the fucking appeal.
And what's the connection with the judge who sent Rick to Winsett, that prison? He had a connection with somebody.
The first guy.
Elf, like he recused himself
Diener?
because
Diener. Diener.
His mother was the prosecutor or something.
I think she's his stepmom, right? Stacy Diener.
I think they wanted someone a little more tough that was going to do the spanking for them.
Yeah, but was it some type of connection with, like they was connected to? I think it was something. I can't think of it. Like I say, this case right here is so overly disturbing, right?
Wait, Judge Diener's stepmom was Stacy Diener, the prosecutor?
Yes. So Stacy Diener, assistant prosecuting attorney to Nick McClellan for this case. She is Judge Diener's stepmom, and did she win White County? I can't remember. I think she did. She just ran for White County prosecutor. Yeah. Or maybe hold on, maybe it hasn't happened yet.
God, I hope it hasn't happened.
She's had like a couple failed runs. It's been bad.
How long? When did she become the prosecutor? Did she become assistant prosecutor after judge was already selected?
Yeah, I think she was brought on for the trial.
Brought on is a perfect way to get rid of the judge you don't want.
Yeah, her and Luttrell. Oh no, election's in November. Okay.
She'll probably win.
I'm trying to keep with Ohio and Michigan elections, man.
I forgot about Gull's daughter. I wonder how that one's going.
Oh
Gull's
my
daughter
God.
is running.
Yeah, I know. And I think I seen somewhere. Did she say something like write something if you talk about, was they connected like to some, I don't, it's a lot. I've seen it early, but it's just like with Betsy, right? Oh no, hold on. Let's talk about the junkie, right? We had a good time the other night. Talk about Sarah Scarborough, you know, the dirty fucking the dirty fucking junkie who was doing Vogue. Oh my God, we were on fire making fun of her. Like that video, she just started moving her head like RuPaul, like bubble, like I mean sensational. She was on first prize.
Dude, what about that guy? That fucking stood like
I've seen the mud. This dude talking about we could cheat. You bumpy head, Mr. Clean looking motherfucker. You could cheat. And look what Betsy. She and they disregarded. He said, no, it'll work. Oh, I'm shocked, y'all.
Yeah. I mean, when we get to the Carbob of it all, that's wild. That's wild.
Yep. You have a huge problem when one of your key witnesses takes 3 interviews to get it right. And when you go from, muddy and tan, muddy jeans with a tan jacket, all the way to muddy and bloody with a blue jacket, and the story changes, you have a huge problem.
And it makes no sense, right? Like, why would she
Right.
lie?
Well, in the
Why would
state,
she lie?
the state in Rick's appeal, the state's response to Sarah Carball was, well, you need to take in consideration the totality of everything that she said, that she eventually got to, right, muddy and bloody with a blue jacket. My question is, then why are we doing that with Richard Allen and him on video saying that he left, what, a half hour before that video that Libby took, right? 1:45 at
Oh,
best, at the latest. 1:30, yeah, right.
oh, hold up. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Hold up. Can- why isn't this case bigger, y'all? Why is Richard Allen case not bigger? Like, why ain't people looking at like this tons and tons and tons of things that's saying it's not him, clear cut, no debating. Why this man?
And you know what? It's been wild and amazing, but still surprising to me is the more you look on any post now that updates Rick Allen's case or what's going on or the appeal coming up or anything, the comments are all saying Rick Allen is innocent. They're all, and I mean, it's beautiful, but we're talking about like, I'll go on Court TV, whatever it is, there'll be like 3,000 comments on any given story about Rick Allen, and everyone now seems to agree that he didn't do it. I mean, there's still a lot of people that, don't get me wrong, believe he did, but I mean, the actual people willing to actually say, yeah, I don't think he did it is so much more now, but yet we still don't have the fucking...
Man, you telling me it's a lot of people who believe he did it. It ain't that many people in this world who have a mustard seed of a fucking brain with no evidence pointing towards him could believe he's guilty. And this is what I was gonna say. It was some found on the girls, right? Like some, stuff, I don't want to use that word. And then these motherfuckers talking about it came from the washer machine or it was environmental. Now, and look, my condolences to the family, right? But that make my eyebrows raise up like the rock, right? So if it came from the washing machine, like, are you kidding me? And that's the story that's the story that they let fly.
I think Spug's chat, I think Nicole Grayspace making a lot of good points about the fact alone that this doesn't have the attention it needs, mainly because Richard Allen's trial was not televised, right?
Right.
I think that was one of the biggest pushes that they made, and they knew that if this got out on like national news, it was going to be really bad. And if you think about it, Ray, look back to like Karen Reed, especially trial 2. Judson, what's his last name? The car guy with the paint.
Oh yeah, you're talking about that the was doing
the guy with the glasses.
I forgot his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Start with the H.
Welcher, Judson Welcher.
Yeah, Welcher.
Okay, think about how great that was for Karen Reed. That dumbass got up on the stand on national fucking television, and they played his shameless reenactment of something that was virtually fucking impossible. If we had that with Christopher Cecil on the stand, telling the national media that he went out and Googled that water can get into a phone. Christopher Cecil is the Judson Welcher of Delphi. They're both colossal fucking dumbasses. The difference is that Karen Reed's trial, everyone got to see that on full display.
So fucking true. That's such a big part of it. Everyone,
And you
you're
know
so
what? Like
right.
they play,
You're so right.
but that's what I don't like, and that's what I like to speak out on, right? And I'm glad y'all got to show the way y'all got it because like that's the stereotype that man get, right? Like they looked at Richard Allen, right? And they just looked the other way in my Alan Jackson voice, right? Everybody. But when it came to the woman and Karen Reed, oh, everybody paid attention. That was much more important when I'm not saying that somebody getting uh charged with murder isn't serious, but it's not like what Richard Allen is doing, right? He had to go to jail. Like I can remember the beautiful Andrea Burkhardt. Oh my God. Hey, this
Whoa,
boy,
whoa, whoa, whoa,
like,
whoa, whoa, whoa! That's Keith's girlfriend.
huh?
That's Keith's girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
Not my girlfriend.
She
Respect
is
his.
amazing.
I'm just kidding.
She is amazing, right? Because
I love
like
smart women, man. I really do.
man, like she is just so amazing. And me and Classic, and when Classic showed me that, she was like, you could see how she's fighting back, but you just see how strong she is as a woman, and her being in in the business of lawyering, right? When I heard her say this, I was bothered, right? She said, I've been doing this for a long time. She said, I seen more criminals in the court than I ever seen any like 5 criminals in my hand, and they all had badges. Like when she said that, when I tell you that I was floored. I was because she telling the truth. You can't you could look at a person and understand. And after looking at this case, we all know she's telling the truth. Like, oh my God, man.
I've never seen so many people that all know at the same time that they're totally denying a man due process and willingly doing it. Like I've never seen so many people in this position like I have in Carroll County, people in power, like just do whatever they can to make sure this man doesn't have a fair trial and not care. Like it's the weirdest thing. And why would they all be so dead set on doing that? I just don't understand.
But because they soulless, they gutless, and they all cowards, right? They are cowards. Like horse shit face and ass hoseman, and the leave it the beaver, what class you say that motherfucker look like?
Carter.
Lizard looking motherfucker in Carter, right?
Yeah.
And they are the worst, right? Because this was bothering me, right? Like, that leave it the beaver, he in a deposition I heard, he let it be known that, hey, he wasn't the lead, he didn't do no investigation in this. But then I heard that fucking horseface say, hey, we him and the sheriff was getting into it, and we wanted to let one person speak, right? Because he know how to talk and he's passionate. Oh, but he ain't did no fucking investigation on this. So he know how to talk and he's passionate. Oh, that's the same motherfucker talking about, oh, it could be the person could be in this room right here. You dumb illiterate bitch. Why would you say, I'm sorry, y'all. Why would you say that?
What'd you say? Say that again?
I said you dumb illiterate bitch. Like he was a dumb illiterate bitch.
I thought you were saying something about liver spots because he's old.
Was Ray just pulling a Jay-Z right there? Was he saying, go read a book, you illiterate son of a bitch? and step up your vocab?
Like it bothers me, like, and then look, when you see him on the interview with her, and he leading the Kelsey, in the interview, and say, yeah, and this is bothersome to me, and I'm telling you, every day, every second go by, y'all, we need to put the noise on her. Everybody, if you ain't like, shared, if you ain't subscribed to this channel, please do. It's important. See, This ain't drama, y'all. This real shit.
Mm.
A man
Yeah.
life is life is on the line, right? And like, you know, heal the world, make it a better place, right? We need this realness to get out there. So I promise everybody, please, if you're on any social media, y'all see Shabugs and y'all see True Crime Keith, please hit that like button and share button for them on every social media you can. Y'all, this ain't about nothing but making sure hashtag free Ricky walking out that door, and he'll be able to spend the rest of his life with his wife. And this is the one part that motivates me the most. Because like you were speaking on it earlier, Bugs, and you too, True Crime Keith, y'all was saying how Kathy, right? Like he did, his wife told him do the right thing, right? And I feel for her, and I want to let Kathy know, Kathy, you did nothing wrong, beautiful lady. You told your husband to do the right thing and call the police. That is not your fault that them scum fucking bags railroaded him like that. So I want Kathy to know you are loved and this is not your fault. We love you and appreciate you and you have empathy because I can understand how she feel because she do the right thing, but that's what you're supposed to do. And just imagine how she thinking now. She told her husband to do the right thing, and they do this to him. And then when she see him in that video, and look how Richard Allen look, y'all. Please share this video, y'all. Please subscribe. Please hit that like button, y'all. Please.
Look. And also, I just with Kathy Allen, like I've never seen the wife of a convicted killer like just be so raw and real and honest and like I don't know. I saw that documentary with Rex Huerman's wife, and it's just night and fucking day, guys. Like when you look at someone like Rex Huerman, who 1000% did it, and she lived with him for all those years, and you know she's got her own issues. It's just two different kinds of people, and I think that's for a reason. Like, it's the same thing I say when I say look at the fucking interrogation of Richard Allen, and then look at the interrogation of known guilty killers. Two different things.
Yeah. The other thing too is if we as a society and Rick are lucky enough to see a trial number 2, second trial, assuming they even bring the charges back up, if this is entirely reversed, if there's a trial number 2, Rick needs the best representation possible, bar none. And I don't think he's going to get that. I mean, he had 2 public defenders assigned to him, right? He needs a Bob Alessi. He needs an Alan Jackson, right?
Oh God, what I would
Right?
do for Alan
He
Jackson.
needs a team like that, and he at least needs Ray needs a defense team that's going to do a solid background check on private investigators before they hire him. Help look into Rick's case because Rick had private investigators working for his defense team that at the time of Rick's arrest were on court TV spewing out unconfirmed rumors about Rick that you never know could have tainted the opinion of a potential juror. There's so much that goes into this. Even the people who purport to be on Rick's side or believe his, innocence, or at the very least believe, that they haven't really been firm on his innocence, but believe he deserves a second trial. Even those people, I think it's very fair to be suspect of them based off of their past behavior. And Rick's got an uphill battle. He needs that kind of representation. He needs the poetry of Yannetti. He needs, he needs Jackson.
The acting of Alan.
Absolutely.
And I agree, but I heard the way y'all talk. I heard the way everybody talk. Like, this case is so ABC 1, 2, 3. Like, I ain't been on it nothing but a month and a half. I know that y'all can represent Rick. This case is so ABC 1, 2, 3 for them snotty nosed piece of shit barnyard fuckers down there in Indiana. Like I hate that. I don't hate this. I hate this. I don't hate the state, but I don't. I Indiana, the Delphi Police Department, like, oh my God, like,
it's just like small town police corruption type shit. I mean, this is the types of places where this shit happens. It's not anything new. They've fucked around and did it on a national scale, and they've got us to fucking deal with now. And we're gonna do some shit about that. Now, before we wrap up, I wanted to get into a little Karen Reed segment here.
Yeah.
So,
oh,
I
boy,
just
did I have
want
a time.
what were you gonna say?
I said, oh boy, because like with this corruption going on, right? Like, a DA is very important in Delphi and in Canton, right? And in Norfolk County, right? So, because it's about making sure this shit never happen again, right? So I'm not in for, like, everybody should know politicians lie, right? They all do, right? But so, and it's okay because that's just a part of the game. They make a lot of promises, like, but they're not gonna be able to keep all of them. But in this type of environment, like where it's gonna be Norfolk County, like, I want to hear that feeling, right? Because I think about Rick, being locked there. I think about Turtle Boy could be in jail for 100 years, possibly.
That's wild,
right? And I want a person who running to be passionate and feel it. Don't be you could be a politician, but talk to us.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, speak.
An all-new 2020 starts right now.
I said he's right there. His eyes were shut and he had spots of blood in different areas on his face.
She's accused of killing her boyfriend, a Boston police officer. Enough's enough. We've been quiet for too long.
Now, Justin, a verdict for Karen Reed.
The defendants are guilty or not guilty? Not guilty.
This is the case the whole country couldn't stop watching. I hit him.
I hit him. I hit him. I said it with a question mark.
It's like that my cousin Vinny moment. I shot the clerk versus I shot the clerk.
You'll see that this case carries him cancer, and his name is Michael Proctor.
And all new, and you're the first person from inside the investigation to speak out. The exclusive interview with the country.
I want to say it's very wild that he was the one that I'll fucking interview, I'll fucking be in there, and I'll say whatever I like, just to be where we are now and the shit coming out about this fucker.
Yeah.
God damn.
Controversial trooper in the bullseye.
Oh.
That's tough. I'm sorry.
One of the texts that you sent about
Thank you,
Karen Reed is that
baby.
you said hopefully she kills herself, telling his version the first time on camera.
And it's like, wait, people need to know what has been going on. They need to know the truth.
It just feels like a kind of purgatory.
Now, her wait is over.
Mr. Jury, if you agreed upon a verdict? Yes. On murder in the second degree, what say you? Is the defendant at the bar guilty or not guilty? Not guilty. 002, what say you? Is the defendant at the bar not guilty or guilty? Not guilty. Operating under the influence of liquor by operating a motor vehicle with a blood alcohol level of 0.08 or greater. So say you all?
Yeah, guilty.
Leaving the scene after accident resulting in death. Is the defendant not guilty or guilty? Not guilty.
And a stunning conclusion to the Karen Reed murder retrial, one of the most divisive cases in Massachusetts history.
Is no one has fought harder for justice for John O'Keefe than I have and my team.
A story unlike one I've ever seen that has many layers to it.
You've got an alleged conspiracy between
Who do you think of the cranks will be like, no one has fought for Abby and Libby more than us?
You say what? Say it again?
It was like, who do you think of the cranks will go out there on camera and be like, no one's fought for Abby and Libby more than us? This is true! Shit!
Y'all crazy, man. I appreciate y'all because, like I said, I didn't know about this case. And, like, I didn't know, y'all. I didn't know nothing about this case. But I know now, and I promise everybody on here, I'm going to do my part. I promise y'all that.
Dude, you're amazing. And just like everyone in chat is saying, like, you are a voice. Like, you have a way with words, honey. Like, you are going to be an amazing fucking ride or die for Rick's case. And I'm 100%. So happy you're here. So happy.
No, but, it just because this case is inhumane, right? Like, when you heard, the first lawyer say he quit because, they had Rick, our great veteran Rick tied up like Hannibal Lecter and he couldn't sign no papers, and then they had them cameras following him. Just think about that. You say something, motherfucker. That's what they would say to him. Say something. Say something, motherfucker. We got these cameras watching you and we're going to be reading your lips. Say something.
Period.
Right?
Period.
Look how skinny he got.
Oh my God!
Remember the phone call with his dad? I read the transcript, but I remember that. I can't think of it right now, but I remember how they played something else, but left the father's phone call. Oh my God! I'm sorry, yeah.
No, you're right. And you know what I was just thinking earlier? Actually, was that that call with his dad? I believe. After that, when he's saying, like, I think they're putting something in my coffee or whatever, like, after that, I'm pretty sure he was so fucked in psychosis, he didn't talk to his dad after that.
Oh, wow.
He like, after that, he was so bad off. That's when it got real bad.
entire group of people. You've got forensic evidence, you've got intoxication, you have a hero police officer. John O'Keefe was raising 2 kids after his sister and her husband died. You have all the elements here for great public interest.
Prosecution, they say Karen Reed killed John O'Keefe.
Get drunk, she hit him, she left him to die. It's that simple.
The defense, they say Karen Reed is innocent.
There was no collision. She's the victim of a botched and biased and corrupted investigation that was never about the truth, folks.
Every single detail dissected.
I love that part.
And at the center of it all, John O'Keefe. 2 trials, the first ending in a mistrial.
Come at me.
Tonight, you've heard about it for years, but now the whole story, the facts, the theories, and the verdict. It all begins in the middle of a record-breaking nor'easter.
Officer John O'Keefe was found dead outside of a home in Canton during the blizzard.
His body discovered outside the Canton home of a fellow officer.
O'Keefe's girlfriend, Karen Reed, is now facing charges with his death.
What happened in the Boston suburb of Canton, Massachusetts that led to the death of John O'Keefe during that epic blizzard in January of 2022? Throughout 2 trials now, the country has debated the charges against Karen Reed.
No.
Karen Reed told me she loved John O'Keefe. Now she claims she's also a victim here, claiming that she is framed in a cover-up, pitted against the family and friends who are demanding justice for the life they say was stolen from John O'Keefe, or as everybody knew him, Johnny.
We grew up in Braintree, which is middle class, Boston suburb, heavy Irish, heavy Italian, and Johnny was both.
John is the middle child
Me too.
of 3. His sister Kristen is just 22 months older than he is, and his brother Paul is several years younger.
Do it again.
Oh, I was just doing a shitty Terrible
Do it
Boston
again.
accent.
I just don't want to hear it.
I can't. I'm nervous now.
Oh,
No, I'm
you
kidding.
can't do it. I can't do shit on call.
Braintree, Mass. Braintree, Mass.
It was so much better the first time. I totally understand.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I think it's like Connecticut. Like it's somewhere between New York and Boston. I don't know.
What up, Zach?
I'll work on it and get back to you.
What up, Zach? So I can call you
so
Zach
funny.
instead of Prince. All right.
Johnny and I grew up on the same street. We were in Little League together, elementary school, all the way through high school. We went to proms and homecoming together, and he was in my wedding party. Johnny was a huge fan of the Red Sox. Fenway was a constant destination for us throughout our entire life.
Opening day was a religious day for him. He went every year. Every year. That was it's one of his favorite days.
I dated Johnny early 2000s, then stayed friends for over 20 years. I remember when I first met him and I asked him what he did for a living, and he was in the police academy. I kind of made a joke like, "Oh no, police officer," and he said, "No, like I'm the good kind. I want to be a cop because my grandfather was a cop."
Johnny was
Fuck. That just broke my fucking heart. That John is the fucking cops we need.
Wasn't he like taking care of everyone's kids in the neighborhood too?
Man,
Like,
he's adopted his niece and nephew, bro. That's what's
yeah, like yeah.
Just an amazing man who wanted to be a good cop is the exact kind of cops we need everywhere, especially in Carroll County. And these fuckers took him and lied about it and are still lying about it. So fucking...
was 29 when he got on the Boston Police Department.
One of John's other most cherished roles was becoming an uncle.
He was incredibly excited about becoming an uncle. It was a celebration, essentially. They were a large part of who he was.
But in 2013, the O'Keefe family gets some devastating news when John's older sister, Kristen, is diagnosed with cancer.
This part's so sad, so I'll save my comment till after.
Johnny and Kristen were very, very close. That changed Johnny.
He was unbelievable, making sure that the kids were taken care of.
It was just a little over 5 months from the time that it was diagnosed till Kristen passed.
That was a huge loss.
When she passed, he lost a part of himself.
And almost unbelievably, Steve passed away almost exactly 2 months after Kristen did.
In a very short amount of time, John loses his sister, his brother-in-law. He takes in their kids. How was he able to handle all of this?
He had a big support system.
And emotionally, how did he do it?
I guess he just knew he had to.
Johnny's niece was 6 and Johnny's nephew was 3. It wasn't even a question. Johnny was going to step in and raise those kids.
Karen Reed's story begins 35 miles south of Boston in the town of Mansfield.
Karen, before all of this happened, tell me what life was like for you.
Routine. I took the morning train, literally, and just had a predictable, easy, fortunate life.
What did you do for a living?
I was in finance and asset management, what I always wanted to do. And then at night, I taught college juniors introduction to capital markets, investing.
How did you meet John O'Keefe?
I met John in 2004, February, at his sister's 30th birthday party.
And so what drew you to him? I mean, what did you like about him?
I thought he was handsome and he was sweet, and I mean, I was 24, so that was about the criteria at the time. It just came and went and didn't speak to him again. Not intentionally, it just wasn't serious.
By 2020, more than 15 years later,
Has enough time passed? Because I'd fucking take that man seriously. Ow! Damn!
Dude. Okay. Enough time has passed, but I do have to say this fucking theme of like something serious and then something pops up from chat to make me laugh is really, really making me like,
I just inhaled my hair.
It was literally and John's sister got cancer. And then I read like, oh, and John was hot as fuck, by the
And
way.
I
I
had to pause.
can't do that. I can't do that. I had to go off camera and like let it out. I didn't seem like a piece of shit. Like I was laughing about John's sister having cancer. It's terrible.
I do it all the time. I'm sorry.
We were talking about some serious shit with Todd Click, and all of a sudden, Where's Nancy pops up. And I'm like, why the fuck am I laughing at Where's Nancy?
Where's
You guys,
Yo,
I
where's
can't do it. I
Nancy?
can't.
Where
I don't think
is
I'm cut out for this. I don't think I'm cut out for co-hosting. I'm too awful. I'm sorry. Fuck.
No, you're not. I'm way worse. I'm the fucker that paused it on the cancer girl.
And John was mid, by the way. Yeah, he wasn't like.
Oh, he wasn't. He was not mid.
And you know what? Like y'all say, y'all.
I like to think you would have liked that joke.
Like I was. When I first got into Richard Allen, like the first week, it was real depressing, right? And I know we on this, but when I seen Sloot, and I think it was, I forgot was it Lena or Laura who did that funny, and it was so funny when they read Elvis' deposition.
Oh,
like you need stuff
Sloopy
like
and
yes.
T.
Oh my god.
Oh god, we need them back so bad.
Oh man.
So bad.
That was so amazing, man. And I needed that moment, right, y'all, because I was feeling real bad, and just to have that, however long it was, it was just amazing to be able to just laugh instead of.
For sure. I mean, you have to. This shit is awful. This shit is terrible. And if you're like us and we all have this passion and we want to fucking help make good happen in this world and help people, we have to go through a lot of shit and watch a lot of horrible, awful things. So like in the midst of that, you gotta fucking laugh. You have to.
Yeah, if you can't use humor to cope, I'm immediately suspect of the fact that you might not. I'm not talking about you personally, Ram. I'm just talking about like if an individual gets upset or triggered at some laughter in some really like maybe tough situations, I just suspect that they probably haven't lived a tough life.
I agree with you.
Right? Like they just haven't experienced the crazy kind of shit that happens in life. There's a lot of bad things that I fortunately missed out on, which is great, but at the same time, it's like people who are like, oh, how can you laugh at something like this?
Yeah.
I was joking about the time. We've just had I've had very bad timing with the way I react to
It's our
stuff.
thing.
It's
okay. It's
very out of context, so
it's okay though.
Yeah, right.
No, I love it.
And I love it because when I heard, he said, "Say it again." Boy, that shit had me rolling. I was like, "Damn!" And you did it. But we need that. I'm like you, Keith. I feel exactly like you, and I question people in the midst of having a little humor through a tough time when we fighting so hard in a situation.
Yeah. I mean, otherwise I think you'll fucking lose it. Honestly. Or, we've seen, FKR community has done so many fucking incredible and amazing things. Amazing people. I have so many friends. And that's why I want you guys to fight with us so bad.
Oh, I'm her. Yeah,
but we've seen the drama,
Yeah.
It's rough.
But and it's true. You're telling the truth. And what made me is not even participate in that, because I want everybody to know this. Like, let me tell you, I'm gonna use you and Keith as an example. Is that okay?
Yeah, please.
Okay. I want everybody to listen to this and listen to this clear. I want to take y'all on this walk. Bugs and Keith, right? You see they got a nice bond, right? So look, if Bugs and Keith be mad at each other, look, it's none of our business to get into it, right? Because we still rocking with them both. Because guess what? It's just like having a girlfriend or a boyfriend. You know how you get mad at them, talk stuff about them, then whoop, back together. So I don't get in family business, right? Because you just don't you don't do that. Like you get at the people who going against the grain on family, right? And so that's why I ain't with no drama. And like I say, I think about Richard Allen now, and I think about the GOAT and what he going through, and that don't matter to me at all. Because look, um, I'm a black man. I stand out. You got to understand, and it's funny, right? Because like I came in so hard because like Karen Reed, like, and you know I'm okay with her now. Like I would never like want to chill with her. It's no problem. I'm just giving y'all the backstory of how I came in. She made a situation about a BS recording with a lot of other people, right? And I was so hot and bothered because I'm like, hold up, you talking about a bullshit recording, and this dude just saved your life, and you could have been down there with Big Bertha, Big Jessica, Big Kim. You could have been washing some drawers or something, and like the GOAT went through hell. He went. He's the only one who spent time in jail, 60 days, right? So I had a problem with that. Like you don't like. It's nothing that I could be mad at somebody about, and it ain't no problem. I'm just telling y'all what happened. And that's how I came in because I'm like, damn, they going at the GOAT and they going at the OG Will the Glare. They got me fucked up because I'm always watching, but I never type. I'm in the background lab, but I couldn't take it no more. Just like with this Richard Allen case, I can't take it, so I'm on it. That's why I want everybody to know, y'all. Look, this Richard Allen case is super important. We need y'all to share this live right here. We need y'all to share it, please. I'll get on my bed and knees because Richard Allen every second. Just imagine what he's going through. So every live Bugs and Keith do, we need y'all to share it in my Buzz Lightyear voice. Like to the moon and beyond, right? Like it need to be shared, and I humbly ask y'all that.
Fuck yeah, and Ray too. Ray is fucking and Ray be going. He just had 2 back to back. Was that yesterday? It's like, damn. Like just providing information and content and getting the information out there. That's all we need to do. That's all we need to do is just keep fucking writing for what is important to us to free this innocent man.
But y'all vital though, because y'all the first people who I listened to. This what Classic brought me to first.
Aww.
Right? And I had the time of my life over here that night, and just understanding, listening to y'all. Y'all gotta understand that was like a month ago. So just think of a newbie crank, because I am a crank now, y'all. Coming over here, watching y'all say everything about this case. Do you know my jaws was dropped? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just telling y'all, like, y'all was the ones I came to, and Classic brought me to, and my jaws was dropped. They still, I'm still fucked up, but I'm not gonna let that stop me from being motivated as hell about how angry I am, right? But I'm not gonna let my angerness make me emotional, because I'm gonna think about Richard Allen, that great veteran that we got to get free.
Hell yeah. And that makes me so happy, by the way, just that like anyone could listen to us and like it have a positive effect on Rick Allen is like the whole fucking point. And a positive effect on getting real justice for Abby and Libby.
Yep. And how much what is being done for Richard Allen not only helps Richard Allen, which is the most important, but it helps avoid this kind of thing from happening in the future. Let's be honest, what's happening with Karen Reed is the whole point of what's happening now is to make sure that this doesn't happen in the future, Ray. And it's funny you talk about like Schmogs not connecting. I wish you could see some DMs between her and me where she DMs me and says, "Hey, shut the fuck up." Like,
You're so full of shit right now.
Hold on, wait, let me be clear. Hold on, wait, let me finish. She says, hey, maybe set the phone, which is your sword, down, go for a walk, and come back and decide if that's probably, really a route you should go down. She's very wise with that. And I appreciate that. But also, Ray, I think you can support someone and not agree with them and necessarily their views. We have cranks of all walks of life, different political, beliefs, things like that. I think we've had cranks get in a political discourse and disagreement on Twitter live in front of us. And Ray, you mentioned, just being a black man talking about these kinds of things. I think it's very noble that you are advocate, whether it's the Karen Reed case or Delphi with Richard Allen, you're advocating for people who, let's be honest, we're not entirely sure that they would be doing that for you. And if you were in that situation, right? And I think that's where you don't got to tell me you're a full-blooded American. I could see it through and through, man, right? Because it's about due process. It's about everyone having an equal opportunity to have a defense, right? And so you're probably going to hear a lot of people. I've said this before. I think Carroll County was so upset they couldn't pin this on a black man. I think that police subculture, I think the people they're protecting, we just talked a lot about the white supremacist groups. I do firmly believe there's a link there, right? It goes back to those who work forces are the same that burn crosses. I think you're doing God's work talking about these cases, man. I really do.
Man, I am just so just motivated because, like I say, listening, to Bob Mata say, how he hitting his head on the wall and he eating his shit, and how I see how him and y'all, but when I heard him say that, right, I was that did everything for me. It make me run through a wall for Richard Allen, Bob Mata, and this whole crank movement, right? Oh, yeah. And I'm gonna keep grinding. I'm telling y'all that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We got 3 more minutes.
Karen is living in the Boston area, and John is now a single dad, a cop raising 2 kids in the middle of a pandemic. And then he messaged Karen on Facebook.
When I saw his picture, it was with several young children, and he told me, yeah, I have the kids now. I thought that was amazing, and he said they're 9 and 12.
How serious did things get that second round?
Pretty serious, very fast.
Was there talk of marriage?
No.
Did you want that?
I would have considered it strongly for John, but it's not ever been something that I've aspired to.
We are expecting as much as 18 to 24 inches of snow and 40 to 50 mile per hour winds.
A snow emergency has been declared. City officials say this would be a blockbuster event.
That morning, did you and John have an argument?
Yep, we had an argument.
Karen says that morning John's niece was running late for school, and Karen offered to stop at Dunkin', something that she said John didn't really approve of.
I was miffed because it just was in the essence of saving time. I would say of the arguments that we've had, it felt like one of the more unfair arguments. So I got my back up more than I normally did.
But by that evening, the two make plans to meet up. And John's nephew's at a sleepover. His teenage niece is spending the night at home.
Early in the evening, John O'Keefe goes out with a buddy down to C.F. McCarthy's.
I ended up leaving my house to join John in Canton at 8:30.
How did the night go?
It was fine. I walked in, he was with 3 other fellas. I got there a little after 9, and he gave me a hug.
Footage from security cameras show the night appears to be like any normal Friday night. A mere 12 hours later, John O'Keefe will be dead, Karen accused of his murder, and this man will be at the center of the investigation and the controversy, speaking out for the first time.
People need to know what has been going on. They need to know the truth. They're only hearing one side here.
Oh, we've heard all sides from you, sir.
We found out what's going on, Mikey.
Mm-hmm. Mr. High and Mighty on that
Damn.
interview, thinking, I'll just delete everything from my phone. Just go away. Fucking whole police officer doesn't realize iCloud exists. Get the fuck out of here.
That guy's got to be locked up for those texts alone. Like,
I mean, that's shit I haven't read since a fucking novel in fucking elementary school I had to read. Shit.
aside of like the sexism, the racism, like blatant, he admitted to raping a woman.
Yeah. Anally.
He did, right? Yeah.
Yeah, wait till she need to go to sleep, face it. Boy, you better get your cone head ass on somewhere. And look, remember what he how he shitted on America. Oh, wow, America do the H, they should have done the H dude like that, you know, like you silly son of a bitch. Like that is disgusting, man. Like and like Bukaki, you know, like Tully, all them bitches, man. But you know, they Karen Reed free. You know, we got to get Richard Allen free. You know, got to get the go free. Like Richard Allen is really suffering, in the worst way.
Every day I worry he's losing himself more and more. Yeah.
But that's why I tell everybody we got to pray, right? We got to pray so he got that angel force field around him, right, to lead him to the September the 21st, so he could ride on that black horse, that stallion, and get back to Kathy.
Fuck yeah. And I think that's a beautiful place to say, again, September 21st is going to be oral arguments. If you can't make it, then it's going to be live streamed, actually. So that's going to be amazing. And a lot of us are going to be there to include the Matas, which I'm so excited for because, God, I love the Matas fighting for Rick. They should fucking be Rick's next lawyers.
I think I'm gonna try to plan. I'm really gonna try.
I will die if I get to meet you. I would love it.
I think I'm gonna try now.
Fuck yeah.
Because this means something to me. That like I said, man, this is the worst I done seen in my lifetime, right? And it's just that we have to, you know. Nothing matters. If you get a little attitude, say fuck that attitude. Think about Richard Allen and what he going to do. Your attitude means something right now. Like think about that. Think about that, y'all. It's just we have to go so hard for this dude. I'm not stopping. I want everybody to know that. And whether like I got 1,000 people, 500, 200, or just one person in there, you're gonna get that same energy.
Yep. We're gonna fucking be there in some form or fashion, and it's gonna be amazing because those of us who know the fucking record and know this case, know that state fucked up big time.
Oh, can I do a plug? I got.
Plug. I'm
setting up. No, not for nothing. I'm just I don't need nothing. It's all about Bugs and Keith.
Oh, please.
It's about y'all. I just want everybody. I just want to let y'all know. Not a plug, but let y'all know I will be having a Glera, and will be interviewing Will the Glera with the OG song.
When?
It's gonna be soon. We setting it up. But it's gonna be real soon.
And go watch Ray's interview with Turtle Boy. By the way, free Turtle Boy.
Nice.
Go watch that interview. It was wonderful, and fucking I'll be there for Will the Glera. Will is so funny. Will is.
Oh man, he the OG. He the one who like I said. He the one. Like, I don't know how y'all got in here, but he the one who put me in the game. And, you know, through right, wrong, or indifference, I'm riding with the OG, El Jefe, the Don Dada. That's just how I'm coming.
No, I got you for sure, because the Matas and R&M Productions are who helped suck me into this. So, same.
Hey,
I
if
love
y'all
you
ever want me, but y'all, man, Keith and Bugs, y'all are the truth. Like, y'all conversation is amazing. And, like, just me hearing the passion and out of y'all. Man, if y'all ever want me, it would be my pleasure to come back with y'all.
Oh, no.
I will be running like
Ray,
Forrest Gump.
Ray, we're starting an actual series with you.
Oh, okay.
I know.
You see me put my picture in. Let me back. Look. Look. You see me put me in, coach.
Damn, I need to use words more and explain things. Yeah, no, I would love you to be here. we're gonna do this case from before day one. We are gonna open it up with the Flora Fire. We are going to get into everything before Rick Allen. We are going to get to all the side quests, all the fires, everything. We're going to get to it.
Like classic. I'm ready.
Can't wait.
I promise y'all, I am ready to go. I am ready. I'm so like I don't even know if I'm gonna go to sleep tonight. They might see me, but I think I'm gonna chill. Like because for real, like it's a lot more I got to uncover that I, got to dig in and do my research and look at about this case. I'm telling y'all, I could take a 20-minute clip and turn it into 3 or 4 hours.
Oh, I know. You're amazing. No, I'm so fucking excited. Like you are the truth. You're an amazing voice, and I just can't fucking wait to keep doing this with you. And I really hope you go to Indy because I'm trying to smoke with you. So
we man.
Do that.
We
can't in Indiana.
Be hearing me choking. Choking.
Damn it!
And like
so
Classic say, I got no choice. And let me give a shout out to Classic. I want to tell y'all, but she is so amazing, and this is the type of person I am, right? Because she has guided me like a guardian angel through this case.
Awesome.
Like any questions I got, like she is like bing, 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 bing. Like I'm getting punched left, right, uppercut, jab, hook, like. Every question I ask, like I told you, like the Little Shop of Horror, feed me, Seymour, feed me, and she really liked that. Man, Classic overthink. I got love for her to death, and she is really indebted in this, and I appreciate her from the bottom of my heart. I gotta say that.
No, for dead ass. And Classic is the one. Anytime I get an inkling of a lead on something or someone, she's got, I got you, sends me all the shit. Like, Classic has just been so amazing. And
I'd be like,
so
Classic,
blessed.
I'd be like, Classic, what's this part? I need this part right here. She like the road runner, beep, beep, and this girl. I'm like, damn, can't even blink. Like, she quick draw McGraw. Like, for real.
And she don't stop.
Man, hold up.
She is pretty much responsible for the entire Delphi hashtag on Twitter.
For real, like, dude, she go to it.
Relentless and perfect, like very well edited small snippets where like you keep the attention span of someone who's new trying to learn. Very, very, very good stuff.
You gotta understand how when she was telling me stuff, I was like, no, we was typing, we ain't never talked. I'm like, no, are you serious? And like when I be talking to her, cause like when I be talking, like when I'm on live, I be like Classic, and like it's just, man.
I know. I fucking love our people. And FKR's got amazing fucking people too. That's why we're fucking doing this. We're putting our heads together. We're gonna make shit happen because we've got nothing but a bunch of fucking amazing people in this community. And I just can't wait to keep doing this shit. So thank you, Ray, again for joining us, and we will see you next week. I want to do Wednesday again. Wednesdays good?
I'm available. The date that you got, I'm here. I appreciate y'all and thank y'all. Everybody, please share this live. Everybody, please look, y'all. Look, please, I'm begging. When they finish this live and they process, hey, tippy toe back through that garden and hype this video.
Mm-hmm. Oh, also, Kathy Clendenning, are you here? Gotta do it every time. Okay, love you all.